11 different boxers.
Hi, folks. This is Big Al from Discount Diesel Parts. Interstate McBee is a highly respected manufacturer with over 70 years' experience in the heavy-duty diesel engine parts industry. And as an authorized dealer, we've been serving Western Canada with those high-quality engine parts for highway trucks, farm machinery, heavy equipment, transit, and marine, and at a great price, too. Reach us at discountdiesel.ca and know that Discount Diesel's got the parts to get it done.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station.
CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Have your sports curiosity cured.
4 years ago. George Holani's the running back. Is the first touchdown of Super Bowl 60.
A veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
And the pressure as well. As Witherspoon came on he's going the distance for a touchdown.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
It's continuing to get to the sideline. Going 29. And that will do it. Seattle reigns above them all in the NFL. The Seahawks, Super Bowl champions for the second time.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Sol 603, Wednesday, February the 11th, day 5 of the Milan Cortina Olympics. Good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440 on your AM radio dial, on your morning drive, wherever you're heading out on a Wednesday morning. So glad you could spend some time with us. You can also watch us as well on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like and a subscription. We would really appreciate that. We're also on X, Facebook, Instagram, and even the old Twitch. And as always, we're streaming on the many services that are out there on iHeartRadio, the TuneIn app, even sports1440.ca. And if you miss any part of any show, it turns into the many podcasts, and they are readily available pretty near everywhere. And Apple, Spotify, Google, even Amazon. Please subscribe there. It's free. Select the auto download. You'll never miss a second of any show. Yeah, so glad you're with us on a Wednesday morning where day 5 of the Olympics in Italy, well underway. The freestyle skiing women's moguls going on right now. Canada's Maya Schwinghammer has qualified for the final, and that is on the go as we speak. And again, you know, the medal count for Canada right now it's slim pickings. Again, just 3 medals so far. They picked up the silver, the Canadians did, in the mixed relay short track yesterday. That was the first silver to go along with the 2 bronze, but it's been slow plugging so far at the Olympics for Canada. Text line 833-401-1440. What are your thoughts of the games? What are your thoughts on the games so far? We got a dozen days to go or so here as things wrap up on February 22nd, but still a lot of time and a lot of events for our Canadian athletes to see if they can, push forward and then in some cases try and rebound. And that would definitely be the case for our women's Olympic hockey team, who yesterday, man, I mean, it wasn't pretty. If you saw the game, you saw how the gap is not even close right now between the American women and the Canadian women. It's not even close in pretty well every facet of the game. The United States shut out Canada 5-0 yesterday. And when you look back and tack on the rivalry series games, the scores right now for goal for, goal differential, and goals against, it's not even close. They picked up 7 consecutive wins, the Americans, if you go back in the last calendar year. And what is the goals for? 29-7, something like that. I mean, yesterday, the Canadian women were chasing all game. And as we speak, we were talking about, sorry to interrupt on the women's hockey, but we've got the freestyle skiing women's moguls. And again, Maya Schwinghammer has just started her run in women's moguls. I believe she came in sitting in fourth place going into the final. So a podium possibility is definitely there. And this is such a demanding sport where they are going down, obviously, as fast as they can. And then they've got the 2 jumps, and you do the old cross and everything like that. And Schwinghammer has just finished and just crossed the finish line. We'll see what her time is and her scoring, because you always get some points for the jumps and things like that. So she came in, and I was, if you follow Devin Haru, who does just such a great job. He's a Saskatchewan guy, and he's really working his tail off here at the Olympics. He was talking about where she started her skiing career, if you want to call it that. And, she's a stubble jumper. She started at Blackstrap Mountain, which is just outside, well, they call it Blackstrap Mountain, but it's just outside Saskatoon. And they used that for the Winter Games, a million years ago. That's where they had the skiing events when Saskatoon and area hosted the Canada Winter Games many, many, many years ago. I can't even remember how long it goes back. But anyway, that's where she started her career, on the little ski hill in Saskatchewan. So it just shows you, if you have a love for a sport and you don't have the necessary facilities, you can still, achieve your Olympic dream and make it all the way to the Olympic Games. So her scores have just come in right now. It's at 77.61. She moves into second place. It looks like 4/10 of a point back of first place. I just caught the standings quickly. So we'll keep an eye on Maya Schwinghammer. They have, obviously it's like the events that they always have at the Olympics. The top athletes that have the top times and the top scores, they save them for the end. And that's how the judging goes as well. So currently sitting in second place for Maya Schwinghammer. All right, back to the Canadian women's hockey performance yesterday. They chased it all game long, obviously without Marie-Philippe Poulin, the captain. Did not play. Would it have made a difference? Well, I would say if you added 6 or 7 or 8 MPPs yesterday, maybe it might have made a difference. Marie-Philippe Poulin herself, not a chance. That's how much of a discrepancy there is here between the Canadian women and the USA women. But maybe you can use this as a rival or a rally in this rivalry. We talked about it yesterday. We had Cheryl Pounder on about 2 months ago, and she spoke to 2002 and how, it was tilted back then. The Americans were way better than Canada going into the Salt Lake Games. In fact, they had won 8 straight against Canada back in 2002. Somehow the Canadians rallied. And in a one-game showdown, a one-game gold medal game, there is the chance that Canada can beat them. There's no way that Canada beats the U.S. here by looking at this team from the rivalry series and what we saw yesterday. They don't beat the United States in a best-of-5 or a best-of-7 series. In a one-gamer, for all the marbles, with some Canada heart and grit and fabulous goaltending, you're going to need it. It's a possibility. We'll see what happens. The Olympic men's hockey tournament gets underway today. What do we got? 8:40 is the first game, and that's Slovakia and Finland. And then the host Italians will play Sweden just after 1 o'clock today, our time. The Canadian men practicing today. And General Manager Doug Armstrong said, that close practice we had the other day, that was just a one-off. So don't worry about it. No more close practices. Man, some people make a big stink out of it, don't they? But the lines changed a little bit. The top 6 guys stayed pretty well the same, with Connor McDavid between Macklin Celebrini and Tom Wilson. Sidney Crosby had Mitch Marner and Mark Stone on his wings. And then after that, things changed a little bit. Nathan McKinnon. So you still have the big three centering their own three lines, but Nathan McKinnon was between Brandon Hagel and Sam Reinhart, and then Bo Horvat at 4C centering Brad Marchand and Nick Suzuki. So that's how they rolled things out today ahead of their game tomorrow against Czech. Paul texts in at 833-401-1440, calls Blackstrap the Prairie Pimple. Now, I believe it was, they took a whole bunch of landfill back in, and we're talking decades ago, and they built up this landfill, and they built it up and ended up building a ski hill out of it. 7:10 in Edmonton. Hey, let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne to the fray here on a Wednesday morning. Good morning, Duke.
Good morning, Kevin.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well.
Hockey last night?
I did have hockey last night down at Nate.
Were you in goal? Or?
I was, yeah. These midweek ones, I'm usually being called upon to attend a net and be at least the most mild upgrade on a shooter tutor, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Gets me out, gives me a little exercise, continues to rapidly degenerate the state of my knees, which I really felt once I made it home last night. But I'm doing it all again today at 3:15 this afternoon as well for Argyle.
Is that
going to be?
Is that a?
It's a Walker adjacent skate. I think him and Angie, they're actually away right now. They're in Vancouver, so they were not there last night, and I have to think they will again not be there today. If they usually do this Wednesday escape. But naturally, I've talked about it with a few different people across the station and beyond. If you own goalie equipment and are not a total nut job and weirdo, doesn't matter how good you are, really, you essentially can play as much hockey as you want all the time because people are always needing, as I said, somebody just to stand in the net and keep them from playing posts, essentially, which is, hey, that's fine by me. And I will say, last night was probably the best I'd felt in my last several times out with the pillows on. I'd been on a bit of a rough stretch and wasn't feeling too high, but last night was pretty good.
Duke, where did we go to for the Critters there a few weeks back when we both? So it's
Smoky Lake.
No, I was there too with you. So.
Yeah, you didn't come to Smoky Lake.
Redwater.
Oh, no, New Sarepta.
New Sarepta? Yeah. Was it New Sarepta?
We went to Redwater before that.
New Sarepta had the add-on with the building, right?
I think so.
Okay. Did you notice that the handmade pro-made, like farmer, like edition shooter tutors that they had I
had not noticed those.
They were sort of along the side. And this would be a couple of farmers in the garage here, saying, okay, let's make a couple shooter tutors. And these things were unbelievable. They were basically made out of thick puckboard, so there wasn't that that little canopy that sometimes you'll score from the side, and the shooter tutor gives. Anyway, these were thick puckboard, and they were easy to attach to the net.
No, I didn't notice those.
Yeah, and they had the holes cut out and things like that. So I thought it was a pretty decent concept. That
might have some sort of business idea.
Well, that's what I thought. Well, I'm pretty sure that the couple guys just got together with a couple bottles of rum and
spent the night in somebody's shop and just fabbed them up. No problem.
Can we get things together here, man? I don't have the results coming quickly here.
I know Maya has dropped to fourth as of active with still 2 runs to go, who I believe were the 2 highest placers from the first run of the finals. So they run in reverse order, obviously.
And that's the thing. So if you're coming out, they leave room for the judging, right? And it just drives me nuts. If you have a great run right off the hop, mark it as so. I know you got to be excellent. You have to be fabulous and great, but just tough going. So that was a medal opportunity for Canada, and looking like it is less and less a possibility here. Yeah, I see her in 4th up here. Duke just came in now, and Tamita Hinako just knocked her out from 3rd to 4th. So rats. BC Oilers says it's hard to get into the Olympics when it's in that time zone. The primetime replays are all over the place too. I wanted to watch the short track races and never did come across it. I can't agree with you more and I get it. The time, we can't do anything about, the time zones and the time differences here. I find it easier to watch in the morning, to be honest with you, to try to catch it live. The late primetime replays are terrible. And again, they're on every channel. Like every channel has the same thing. The ones that come in around 4:00, obviously, because the Olympics are over for the day events in Milan Cortina, they're over for that day. So those are a tad bit better, I find, and they're a little bit more recent. But it's tough sledding, and that's just the way it is when you've got basically 6, 7, 8 hours time zone away. It's different. That's just the way it is. Text 833-401-1440. I had to mention too, because there was a release from the Canadian Olympic Committee about just the heartbreaking and just tragic events that we saw yesterday in Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia. The Canadian Olympic Committee issued a following statement regarding the shooting in Tumbler Ridge. Heartbroken by the news of the horrific school shooting that occurred in BC. Our thoughts are with the families who have lost loved ones, those who are injured, and the entire Tumbler Ridge community. Team Canada stands with everyone affected as they navigate difficult days ahead. Just a tragic, senseless, needless, just terrible, terrible incident that happened yesterday in BC, and obviously thoughts to everyone out in BC. It's only about, I think it's like 6.5 hours away from Edmonton here, just across the border. So senseless, needless, awful for sure. Coming up at the top of the program here, right off the hop, Ian Kennedy. What happened here, Duke? Now he decided he's coming on the big program here.
Yeah, it was just a little bit. So he'd said he was able to do video yesterday. I'd sent him the link. So he'd see it sometimes where it just jumps into a junk folder. I'd send him a message saying, "Did you get it?" Never saw the message. So he followed up with me later in the afternoon saying, I just kind of assumed you guys had moved on to something else or a different topic, whatever. So we're just going to do the phone today, save ourselves the hassle. And so we'll link up with Ian and kind of recap a lot of what you talked about earlier in this segment about, what exactly is plaguing these Canadians right now as they the struggles against the USA were on full display yesterday.
They sure were. And again, in a one gamer, I think there's enough there that you could eke out. I'm not saying this is a miracle on ice comparison at all.
No.
I'm not saying anything close. But I mean, the way things have been going, think about, and you just watched the documentary, Duke, 2 weeks before the Olympics, they played at Madison Square Garden and lost 10-3.
Yeah.
The Americans lost to the Russians 10-3 2 weeks before the Olympics. This is a different beast. I'm not comparing the two, but what I am comparing in a one gamer.
Yeah.
Anything
can happen, 9 times out of 10, they might beat you.
There you go.
Not tonight.
Yeah. Mark Spector will be with us at 8 o'clock. We got Lorianne Munzer on a Wednesday. This is going to be great because we can talk about tons of Olympic stuff with Lorianne Munzer. David Schlemko was supposed to be with us for Cougar Paint and Collision. Called in sick last night. Schlemmer, get well, big fella. Old Norm Peterson, Rod Peterson from the Rod Peterson Show will be with us at 9:20. And we'll have Zach Daly, McEwen Griffins men's hockey head coach. Big series coming up with the Griffs and the Alberta Golden Bears this weekend. Playoffs right around the corner. Home ice on the line. When we come back, Ian Kennedy from the Hockey News and the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
McValue breakfast meals are $5 plus tax every day. Get a sausage McMuffin, bagel with cream cheese product, or breakfast burrito with hash brown and small coffee, all for just $5 plus taxes. Available until 11 a.m. at Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca. As players get ready to represent Canada, the regular hockey season takes a break. But don't forget about your winter breaks, BRAKES. At Napa Auto Parts, you'll find gold medal level stopping power and all your other world-class automotive parts and needs, like podium-worthy Napa Gold filters. Napa Auto Parts is here to support your commute, your drive to the rink, and eventually your own gold medal moment. With close to 600 locations throughout the country and over 85 in Alberta, stop into your local Napa store today. Let's go, Canada! That's Napa know-how.
Sports 1440. All sports, all day.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Thanks for listening to Edmonton's sports leader.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:21 in Edmonton, and time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where the all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator sport packages have arrived. Great selection, too. So many colors to pick from. $49,900 gets you behind the wheel. The brand new Jeep Gladiators below $50,000. Check them out at stalbertdodge.com as we welcome in Ian Kennedy from the Hockey News. Morning, Ian. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Man, you watched the game in its entirety like everyone yesterday. 5-0 U.S. over the Canadian women. Just an overall take and what you saw and how big of a difference there is between these two teams right now, Ian.
The difference is vast. It's been vast for a year. It's been vast for a couple of years, actually, and it's getting larger and larger. But yesterday's loss was something of a historic one. It was the first time Canada's been shut out at the Olympics, and it's also the biggest goal differential ever on men's or women's by an American team that's beaten a Canadian team at the Olympic Games. So really not something a lot of Canadians want to see, but in the women's hockey world, this one's been coming for quite some time. The USA's 7 straight wins now against Canada, stemming back to the World Championships last year, where they beat them in the gold medal game as well. And just not good news for Canada for the Olympic medal hopes, but they get one more shot still.
So, Ian, it's not just one thing. It's almost like you could say it's everything. Is that fair to say right now?
It is. USA's faster. They're more skilled. Canada went heavily with this veteran, experienced roster that's been around for pretty much a decade together. And they haven't willingly shuffled their lines. They haven't tried new combinations. So USA is just really, they seem to have them beat pretty much everywhere. They've got a nice speckling of veterans still, like Hillary Knight and Kendall Coyne-Schofield, a couple of players that as soon as they retire will be in the Hockey Hall of Fame. And then they've got the other side of the spectrum, players like Carolyn Harvey, who might be the best defender or even player in the world right now, and Abby Murphy, who has just been breaking the internet at times this year with some of her highlight reel goals and assists that she's had. So top to bottom, the speed difference, the tenacity, the finish, it's really, there aren't too many bright points. There's a few where Canada's, getting some key contributions from different people, but coupling in the injury to Marie-Philippe Poulin, it was a really difficult game to watch yesterday, that's for sure.
Ian Kennedy with us from the Hockey News. I said off the top of the show, I don't think one Marie-Philippe Poulin would have made a difference. Maybe 6 or 7 of Marie-Philippe Poulin yesterday would have made a difference because that's how far apart these two teams are. What do you make of the roster construction going into this Olympic Games here, Ian, where there was some youth and maybe some speed that was left off this team, and they decided to go with, as you said, more of a veteran group that's been there before. What about a lot of these decisions that were made?
Well, I think at some point here, we're really going to have to get this separation of church and state between the PWHL's Toronto Scepters and Hockey Canada, which is where General Manager Gina Kingsbury and Head Coach Troy Ryan both work in the same roles for both teams. And I don't think that in this year, we really saw them being able to put in the legwork to find some of those players that are having spectacular seasons outside of the 30 players that they knew very well already. But they brought together a 30-player group back in the summer, and they didn't even consider another player from outside of that group. They didn't bring anybody else to the rivalry series. They didn't bring anybody else to a camp or a practice. It was really fixation on those 30 players, which included a lot of those longtime stars that we know, Brianne Jenner and Natalie Spooner, Jocelyn Larocque. But, this is a group where if they stuck together until 2030, there would be 14 players on the roster that are over 35 years old. So, that's just not a stat or a fact that can keep going. And Canada definitely left just a ton of speed and skill on the table. The Americans have 7 NCAA players on their roster, which shows you kind of the other end of the spectrum. And even those that are in the pros right now, whether it's Taylor Heisey or Haley Wynn, Aaron Frankel, these are first or second year pros. These aren't 10-year veterans like Canada's trying to rely on right now. So definitely, I went so far last night, I think I put it out on X that Canada might actually have a better blue line not on the team. You could probably pick 6 players performing better right now than they have on Team Canada. And that's the harsh reality of kind of the fixated mindset they took with that experience and familiarity without really trying to shuffle the deck at all.
Because women's hockey has exploded so much, as you know, Ian, especially in the United States, could you compare the talent pools? You just mentioned about the Canadian blue line and the players that were left off. I'm sure there are many, many American players that were close to making this team as well. Can you compare the talent pools between the two countries for us?
Well, the United States has really put a lot of effort into building the game, and we're seeing some of these new pockets of just like in the men's side, stars popping up from traditionally not hockey locations. Hannah Bilka scored 2 goals against Canada yesterday, and she's coming out of Texas. And Kayla Barnes on their blue line is from California. So we're not just getting this team built from Minnesota and Massachusetts and Michigan like it used to be. The United States' registration numbers are skyrocketing. Canada's still growing as well, and Canada's put together a new blueprint for the future. They're calling it. But we definitely have fallen behind in terms of our skill development, our the way that we promote players through the system on the women's side. We're talking about a country that doesn't have a formal junior program for women. I mean, there's no junior leagues across the country like the Canadian Hockey League, the OHL and WHL. There's just not that consistency where players don't know what the best pathway is to get to the NCAA and get to the PWHL. And that's really, I think we've relied for a long time on the fact that we have 100,000 girls playing hockey in Canada. And out of that 100,000, we're going to find a Sarah Fellier and a Marie-Philippe Poulin and these star players every once in a while. But the United States has really honed in on how they bring players right through from about the time they're 14 into this national program. And they're not holding anybody back. As soon as they see someone is skilled enough, they're on that national team, and they're not just sitting on the 4th line getting 5 minutes a game. They're elevating these players and helping them become the superstars that we see, unfortunately for Canadians, dominating right now.
Yeah. Ian Kennedy from the Hockey News, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show here on Sports 1440. I believe Marie-Philippe Poulin is not going to play against Finland. Is that correct?
That's the kind of the feeling right now. Troy Ryan, after last night's game, said that he was doubtful that Poulin would be in the lineup against Finland. Really, I mean, a meaningless game in terms of the grand scheme of things. Canada had this game thrust upon them when Finland had the norovirus outbreak. So every other team in the tournament right now is on at least 2-day break. Some of them are going to get a 3-day break, where Canada is preparing for Finland and then going to have anywhere between 24 and 48 hours to turn around and play a quarterfinal game as well. So I think getting Poulin back for that quarterfinal, which is going to be against probably a team like Germany, which should be a very easy game for them, followed by a semifinal against either Czechia, Finland, or Switzerland, maybe Sweden, I guess, if there's a big upset. But they're going to get 2 games that should be winnable for them, that she can work herself back into it before that all-important gold medal game.
Right. Ian Kennedy from the Hockey News with us on Sports 1440. Where are you at with the goaltending right now? I mean, the way Anne-Renee Demienne yesterday, the way she played, I didn't like the first goal, to be honest with you, but she didn't get much help. And I mean, there was no time in the offensive zone. I mean, they played in their own end all night long. But where are you at with her and maybe Emma and Smashmeyer going forward?
Well, Demienne is the reigning PWHL goaltender of the year, and she's got the resume that tells you that she can win in these big games. Hasn't had a lot of luck lately against the United States. Even some of the gold medal games in the past couple of years have been more of a shootout than that goaltender duel that we used to see in the 2-1 games. But it seems to have turned into 6-5 games more recently. But I mean, she's their best goaltender right now, and that's not going to change. I might go so far as suggesting that they might actually be smarter to try Kaylee Osborne, who's their third goalie right now, because she is an incredible puck mover, someone that likes to get out of the net and kind of become a third defender. And with the speed of the United States, that might be a way to kind of combat some of those hard forechecks that they've been creating turnovers and really picking up zone time off of. But I don't see Canada doing that. I think they're going to ride with Debian the whole way. She's the one that's performed the best professionally for the last 2 years. And I think that a lot of their gold medal hopes are going to ride on her shoulders, that she can have just one spectacular game.
We were saying too, in a best of 7 series, I don't think after watching, what we saw here in Edmonton at the rivalry series, and then prior to that, and then what we saw yesterday in a 7-game series, I don't think Canada has a chance or would have a chance to beat the Americans here, Ian. But would they have a chance, you think, in a 1-game showdown?
Absolutely. I mean, it's not a great chance, but we've seen it before, and we've seen teams come into these Olympic Games in the past on 10, 15, 20-game winning streaks, and then when that gold medal game hits, it's a very different environment. And we've seen it even, the United States beat Switzerland by the same margin as they beat Canada. So we're not talking about what one team versus the other team can do on a 7-game series. It's that one game where you get the hot goaltender, where you get a couple extra power plays. And that's the kind of situation that Canada's really going to need to capitalize on. They're going to have to wait for those opportunities with the power play to find some offense, because like you mentioned, they didn't get a lot of sustained zone time, and they're going to have a big goaltending performance. And they probably will need Marie-Philippe Poulin to be captain clutch yet again. And hopefully have some of those young players like Julia Gosling and Sarah Filia that we saw contribute earlier in this tournament to just step up and have a big game, because we know this is going to be the last Olympics for so many of these athletes, where I don't foresee anybody not throwing themselves in front of that puck, or, taking the body for their team at those key moments. This is going to be an all-out desperation, giving everything they possibly have, because this team won't look anywhere near the same moving forward after this moment.
Well, and they can use this as a rallying cry too, can they not? I mean, there isn't anyone outside of the, inside of the dressing room, I believe they would think this. Obviously they have to, but outside of the room, no one's giving these ladies a chance here to win gold.
No. Right now, it's really the mood across media, across fans, across the hockey world is that this is USA's gold medal to lose, not to. Nobody else is winning this unless USA has some kind of massive collapse. So there's certainly some motivation there. We've seen these types of moments before where teams kind of use that bulletin board material to really motivate themselves. I don't think that they can motivate 3 or 4 years off of their legs to get faster in this game, but they certainly aren't going to go away without those 23 players on the Canadian roster giving their best effort. That this is still a extremely talented, extremely experienced, just a fantastic roster. It just happens that we're coming up against potentially the best American roster that's ever been put together for the Olympic Games.
Ian Kennedy from the Hockey News with us in Sports 1440, Kevin Karius Show. Is Abby Murphy for the United States basically the equivalent on the women's team to Matthew Tkachuk on the men's team?
She's a Matthew Tkachuk. She's a Brad Marchand. She is an absolute menace of a player. She is a pest, but she is sublimely skilled. She's got just this incredible shot and speed, and boy, does she have the confidence to try things in games. Yes, she will dive. She will embellish. She will take an extra shot at your goaltender or in the corner. She'll throw a hit that's borderline illegal, but she is just an incredibly talented, fast, physical player. And she's been a menace to Canadians already. She drew 4 penalties yesterday in that 5-0 loss. And then added 3 assists to that. And this is a player that, is known for her goal scoring more than her playmaking. So the fact that she's making a difference in all of those different ways, she's going to be, a force to be reckoned with for years for the Americans and in the professional level.
As much as we've been kind of coming down and criticizing Team Canada here, Ian, I guess we have to give props and kudos to the Americans here because they're playing great. I mean, the team is put together well. So I think we have to do that as well, just as much as we are critiquing the Canadians, correct?
Oh, absolutely. That's, as I said, this is a very good Canadian roster. It's not that this is not a team that anyone would have thought would have not been in contention for the gold medal 3 years ago when we looked at it. But right now, what we've seen is that this American team is just that much stronger. They are an incredible team of future Hall of Famers, of all-stars, of NCAA prospects. I mean, on this team, Carolyn Harvey, Layla Edwards, Abby Murphy, Tessa Janicki, they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 in the PWHL draft this year, and they're all going to step onto top lines. None of them are going to be depth. They're going to be probably in the top 10 of scoring as a group almost immediately. So it's just this roster of the perfect storm where Canada's aging. They've got a fantastic group of players still, but the American team has really hit this bracket of time where they're in, as if we were talking about the NHL, they're definitely in their winning period right now. And the window is wide open and they should be winning for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years. I don't think that our hopes are that much better for 2030, but 4 years can do anything for any team. But this is just a fantastic American team that, as much as we might want to harp on the negatives of Canada, as you said, really, the American team definitely deserves their kudos. Yeah, for Team Canada, I mean, Daniel Serdachny's name gets thrown out in Edmonton because she was close to making the team. You mentioned all, the defense, the defensemen on the team. There's going to be, do you think there'll be a lot of regret with how the roster was constructed when it's all said and done if things don't work out in a gold medal game here? I think this will be the last time that we see Canada's current management group running this team. I do. And I think that hindsight's going to be 2020 on this, but there were players, even Serdachny, as you mentioned, is she having a great year? No. Has she scored in the last 2 gold medal games for Canada? Absolutely. It was Canada certainly missing an offensive center yesterday with Poulin out of the lineup. We saw that they had to elevate Blair Turnbull. And for anybody that doesn't know, that's pretty much the equivalent of taking a fantastic third-line center at the pro level and asking them to play first-line center minutes against the best team in the world and produce offense, which is not something that her role generally falls in. So the fact that they didn't have an offensive center to take that first-line role yesterday really shows some of the choices that they might have missed on and or not thought through in terms of what happens if so-and-so is injured. And I think that that's going to become a bigger conversation after the games, of course. The focus is on the fact that there still are 23 incredible Olympians and hockey players there trying to win gold. And we can't change who they are right now, but definitely there's going to be significant critique and consideration for how this roster was put together.
And man, we'll see what happens against Finland here because it's not going to be a walk
We
in the
will
park,
see.
is it? Yeah.
It's not going to be a walk in the park. No, they are still the third best team in the world, and I think that they got off to a very slow start in this tournament because of that norovirus outbreak that had 14 players on their roster quarantined. And but again, that's a team with a lot of veteran experience and a lot of young talent, and they're coming up against a Canadian team that really probably is struggling with their confidence right now. And so for Canada, huge game to get back and to make a statement that they can challenge anybody. And for Finland, win here would put them into second place in Group A and really change the outlook of how everything plays out from here on out.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, Ian, thanks so much for your time this morning. Enjoy the rest of the Olympic Games, and we'll chat soon. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
That's Ian Kennedy from the Hockey News. And our game of the day brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where, again, the Jeep Gladiator Sport Packages for 2026 have arrived, and you can get behind the wheel for under $50,000. Check them out at stalbertdodge.com. This Finland game is not going to be an easy task either, because right now the Canadian women's team is at probably the lowest point that they've ever been at. It's up to the coaching staff. It's up to the leadership group. And that's the good thing here. They have the leadership group there with like Spooners and, MPP still going to be around the room to get, everyone, give them a kick in the rear side here and tell them, get back in the game here, man. For many, as Ian said, for many of these women, it's going to be their last Olympic Games. You want to go out like this? You got to really find some resolve here. And if it's, that mantra of us against the world, well, then use it as best you can, because right now that's pretty well all you got going, especially against the Americans. And again, don't take Finland for granted either here. When we come back, we'll get to some news, maybe non-hockey related, maybe non-Olympic related. The Toronto Blue Jays back at spring training and had some major announcements yesterday when they arrived in Dunedin. That's maybe coming up after the break. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports? Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
The Edmonton Firefighters Rooftop Campout for Muscular Dystrophy is February 18th to 20th. Edmonton firefighters are again braving the elements by camping on the roof of Fire Hall number 2. This year, they've added a little twist and will start the rooftop campout with no camping equipment. The more money they raise for muscular dystrophy, the more equipment they get to survive an Edmonton winter, with a final goal of getting off the roof and helping this incredible cause. Donate now at any Edmonton Fire Hall or online at edmontonrooftopcampout.ca.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Ooh, girl, the way you touch that thermostat, it really turns me on. Like a heat exchanger, sensual phenomenon. Wanna play your favorite song when we turn the heat on like a legacy of love.
Legacy Heating and Cooling keeps your Valentine sizzling hot. You can afford to shower your Valentine with affection because Legacy offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. And that's how you build your legacy of love. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 746 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you here on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're just watching some men's figure skating at the Olympics. A figure skater from France, I believe. And I said to the Duke, I'm going to buy Eddie Steele. It's a kind of a spandex, like a long sleeve shirt. Duke, is that how would you call this thing? But it accentuates the muscles and everything for Eddie.
Well, it kind of almost looks like part of the pattern on it. Like, those shirts that have a six-pack on them?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that in a way that the shading and the coloring is done. It could really make Eddie look even better. What about Laddie? Do you think Laddie would like a shirt like that?
Laddie thinks he looks like that automatically.
Well.
Yeah, no, I like this shirt. I might get one too myself. The reporters that are in Milan, including Kyle Bukauskas from Sportsnet, Ryan Rashog, whoever else.
Who's not working hard, as you were keen to point out.
Listen, I know exactly what goes on, Duke, at this.
Now, Schauger probably heard that. Now, when I text him, he's going to tell me to pound sand. To come on.
No, he'll come on. He knows it. I'm just kidding, but it's an easy. Anyway, they're talking about the starting goaltender for tomorrow.
Yes.
And John Cooper did not reveal Canada's game one starter.
Yeah, I saw I think it was Rashog actually himself tweeting that he said at the start it was Binnington in one net and Kemper and Thompson sharing another. Mm-hmm. But then partway through practice, they swapped and Kemper went down to the net solo, which, if anything, tells us that Logan Thompson is probably not going to be the starting goalie.
He did say that there will be two different guys in the net for the first two games.
Okay.
So that is what Rashog has sent out. Yeah. I mean, and that's not a big thing. Eddie Steele says, you think my muscles need that? Come on now.
Come on now.
Come on now.
Oh, I say that to people all the time now.
Come on now.
Come on now.
Yeah. Oh, man. Nails just texted in, do you think that Buck can stay away from spring training, KK? In my mind, I bet he surfaces around. I bet he lives down in Florida.
Yep.
I'll bet you any money, he'll be walking around for a day or two and
for sure.
shaking hands.
And as I said, if nothing else, to go kind of chat with some of the players. I mean, these guys that have been with the organization for a couple of years, many years, when you're talking the case of, Vladdy and Barrios and Gosman and, they would, I'm sure, appreciate him being down and around it so they can say their congrats if they haven't already, reached out via phone or text, whatever. And listen, this guy's a lifer.
Oh,
you do not do it for as long as Buck has between playing, broadcasting, managing mixed in there as well, without an undying passion for the love of the game. And when you have still the access to go and just hang out around spring training and this early going of the preseason action, absolutely, I think he's going to be there, no doubt.
And watching from the stands a game or two, just sitting there having a beer or some popcorn or whatever with his wife or whatever. That, and I mean, that's going to be a different aspect or something more even enjoyable that he can, enjoy, because when you're doing the games, you're always thinking about what you're going to say next. You're thinking about the next hitter, just like managing, right? Baseball's such an interesting sport to broadcast because you have the ability to think 2 or 3 steps ahead because of how the game moves, where, when you're commentating on a hockey game, for instance, it doesn't work that way because things are moving so fast. Football's different too, because you're setting something up for 5, 6, 7 seconds and then you're resetting. Baseball, you have that ability when you're doing the games to look at it and see it through the eyes of the manager or a player, because you have that time to break it down and look forward to what is the next play, the next inning, and things like that. But the big news yesterday, John Schneider addressed the media, and the biggest news, I guess, is Anthony Santander going to surgery. And people are going, well, why now? Why didn't he have this before? Well, I guess they're saying that, and this is on his shoulder, they're saying, well, the fact that, he was feeling better, in workouts prior in like November and December, and now this is just kind of flared up, but he's going to be gone for like months and months. Having said that, they're a better team, to be honest with you, without Anthony Santander. They showed that last year. They didn't need him last year. This is going to go down as one of the most disappointing, terrible contracts that the Blue Jays have ever signed. And you do have hits, you do have misses, but this is going to be bad, man. Also, Bowden Francis needs UCL reconstruction. So he's done for the year. There was so much hope for him at the tail end of 2 years ago. Then he pitched like crap last year. And then the bigger one, almost in my mind, and we discussed this and we talked about this, and even when I brought it up the other day, on Monday with Jensen Lewis, to me, the bigger concern right now is Shane Bieber, because he exercised that $16 million option and it just smelled, there was something fishy with it. And then now he is going to miss this beginning of the regular season because he's had arm fatigue. He's had problems. So how does he get back to where they hope that he's going to be? He's a Cy Young winner. He's a Cy Young winner, and it's not that long ago. But that's why they bring in guys like Cody Ponce. And that's why they have Yasavage. That's why they have Jose Barrios, who is now likely going to start the season, in the starting rotation. And they have a guy like Eric Lauer who can also fill in. You can never have enough starting pitching. Never, ever. But, you got Gosman, you got Cease, Yasavage, and Ponce, and then you have the ability with Barrios and Lauer too. So also they talked about Ricky Tiedemann, who we've been talking about Tiedemann for a couple of years here. He's returning from his own elbow surgery. So I would expect that he is going to be slow to the party here. And I would imagine at some point in the season would be looking at bullpen work in the majors. But that's, this was their number one prospect for a long time. He's been lapped because of injuries. He's been lapped. Well, so that means Addison Barger is going to be basically your everyday right fielder. You can figure out who you got in left. And I mean, everyone loves Nathan Lucas because of his story. David Schneider, the guts and the grit, and plays hard every day. Miles Straw is still there as well. You can figure out what you're going to do in left now. But also that Kazuma Okamoto will play mostly at third base. Ernie Clement will get most of the time at second base. Well, Duke, I'll be honest with you. I'm almost happier that Santander's not going to be playing because he was so bad. And here's another thing that people, and they won't talk about it in the media in Toronto, but there was so much rampant talk about PEDs with Anthony Santander when he had his great years in Baltimore. And then it's fallen off. And think about even injuries and things like that have come into play here. But there was a lot of talk about that. There's no question. So I'm happy with the lineup as is. That's the lineup that got you within a run of a World Series championship.
I mean, let's be frank, Kevin. This information they had already, right? Like all of this information, because when you look at the moves they made in the offseason, the other moves they were in the mix on, you and I talked how many times about how does Kyle Tucker fit into this lineup? Yeah. They knew Anthony Santander was not going to play this year. Right? And I'm right there with you. They fared just fine last year without him. Would have it been great to him to have a bounce back season or something, but at this point, whatever. It's not my money that's being shelled out to a guy to essentially not play for 2 years. It's no skin off my back. I think the team will be fine. With contextually speaking about the Santander effect or lack thereof.
Well, I mean, it's a big contract. 5 years, sure. $92.5 million. Text 833-401-1440. Badniv says, who cares about him at all? He should have been traded in the offseason anyway. To who, Badniv? Who in their right mind is going to trade for Anthony Santander? Who? Please tell me. Who's lining up to trade for him? $92.5 million you're going to take? No one's trading for him. Top of the hour, we got Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Also, Lorianne Munzer coming up in that 8 o'clock hour. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Riverside Honda, 59 years and counting. St. Albert and surrounding areas, premier Honda and Can-Am dealer. It's your dream. Ride it at riversidehonda.com. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Canadians in action this morning at the Olympics from Italy. Women's moguls finals just wrapping up. Maya Schwinghammer finished 6th overall, while Lorianne Desmarais Gilbert, Ashley Kohler, and Jessica Linton all qualified for the final but did not advance to the second run. In the men's Super G Alpine Skiing, James Crawford, Cameron Alexander, and Brody Seeger finished 16th, 17th, and 22nd, respectively. Women's snowboard halfpipe, Elizabeth Hoskin qualified for the final, while Felicity Germania and Brooke DeHaan did not. Currently underway, the women's 15K biathlon with several Canucks competing, and still to come, men's and women's double luge events kick off in the 9 o'clock hour with the Canadian tandem in each field. The men's 1,000-meter speed skating final will feature Anders Johnson, David Leroux, and Laurent Debril. Brad Jacobs and his men's rink will kick off their curling schedule, taking on Germany at 11. And in the mixed ice dance, free dance program gets underway at 11:30 with 3 Canadian pairs competing for a medal. Outside of the Canadian field, men's hockey kicking off with Finland playing Slovakia at 8:40. Sweden will take on Italy at 1:10. In the association last night, Pascal Siakam, 30 points, lifts the Pacers to a 137-134 track meet win over the Knicks. Houston topped their opponent 102-95. Phoenix gets past Dallas 120-111. And Victor Wembanyama with a 40-point, 12-rebound double-double propels the Spurs to a 136-108 win over the Lakers. And another MLB season is near as pitchers and catchers officially report to team facilities today, including the Toronto Blue Jays congregating in Dunedin, Florida. Coming up in hour 2, the Kevin Karius Show will be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector and Olympic gold medalist Lorianne Munzer. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf, GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Welcome, gentlemen, to the nerve center of game watching greatness, my sanctuary, my Bro Zone.
Whoa, giant screen, comfy chairs. You've thought of everything.
Almost everything. Where are the snacks? We can't cheer on Canada without the proper fuel.
Way ahead of you. Will Hawk Beef Jerky, the official snack of the Bro Zone.
For a truly Canadian snack to cheer on our truly Canadian athletes, you need Wilhock Beef Jerky, made with Alberta pride, right here in Leduc.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Free trips, free iPads, a barbecue, a wood stove, the #1 dealer in the world. What? Who cares? How about no pressure, a great deal, finance rates as low as 0%, trade values you can be happy with, and an indoor showroom. And we're pretty good people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Saturday, it's the Valentine's Day celebration of the footwear with its own loyal fandom. Don't miss the Edmonton Oil Kings Rogers Place Crop Party.
Slide into your most romantic winter Crocs and watch your Oil Kings take a bite out of the Calgary Hitman.
Catch Oil Kings gibbets, giveaways, and an endless parade of the shoe that everyone agrees on.
And take a bite out of Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less. The value is alligator sized.
The Edmonton Oil Kings Croc Party and the Battle of Alberta, WHL style, 7 p.m. Saturday.
Great seats at Rogers Place start at only $20 at oilkings.ca.
This jersey was worn by the legend himself, signed and everything. You can't just wear it. I'm framing it with expressions and images.
Your prized jersey deserves better than the closet. Think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
This year, instead of a short winter getaway from the cold, what if you took a permanent winter getaway
getting
from your
expressions and
house?
images to frame my hockey card collections in the man.
Inviting you to come
I'll
plan
come
your
with
winter
you and bring our
transformation.
wedding photos.
I've helped
For special
thousands of
memorabilia
Edmonton
and family
men
treasures,
get their
think Expressions and
their
Images,
confidence
your
back.
local custom
Many of
framer
them
since
prefer the
91.
Cooler
You name it,
temperatures are
we
great
frame
for
it.
recovery, and winter hats can keep everything discreet. Trips are nice, but this winter, choose to invest in your vessel. Book a free consultation today at drvancelliot.com.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 8:01 in Edmonton, and time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Fall in love with Buick for the month of February. Hey, it's Valentine's Day coming up very shortly here. I'm sure Duke's going to be a busy guy. Lisa, 2026 Buick Envision all-wheel drive with 0 down and $265 bi-weekly payments, and that includes GST, by the way. Shop now at northgategm.com as we welcome in Mark Spector, Roger Sportsnet. Good morning.
Never been more excited to watch Slovakia play Finland than I am right now, Kevin.
Well, coming up in about, 45 minutes here, Spec?
Yeah.
Hey, I got to ask you.
Japan's Slovakians, I'll have you know.
Yeah. I got to ask you about, we were watching the freestyle skiing women's moguls this morning. Maya Schwinghammer finished 6th. Now, I was reading up a little bit about her, got some help from Devin Haru, who's doing a fabulous job. So she's a Saskatoon girl. Now, you know Saskatoon well, and have you ever skied?
Flat, Kev. It's pretty flat.
Well, but hey, she got her start skiing, and you're a big skier. She got her start at Blackstrap Mountain, just outside of Saskatoon.
Blackstrap
Mountain. Have you driven by it ever?
Buddy, I've never skied there. I think our buddy Gord Bell got his start there too, and he's a pretty good skier.
Sure. Well, you know what? Actually, Butch Bell would have started, I'm betting, down at Mission Ridge in the Coppell Valley.
Okay.
That's where he would have started.
Well, lots of people started at Blue Mountain in Ontario, and it can't be any bigger than Blackstrap, is it?
Well, I have some knowledge on it because I used to work in Saskatoon for a few years, 30 years ago. And what it was, they built it for the Canada Winter Games, and that's where they had the skiing there. But it was a garbage dump, a landfill.
It was a garbage dump.
Yeah. And they kept building it up, and then, made it into a ski hill. And every time you drive by there, the sign, Blackstrap Mountain, and you look, and, It's really nothing to see there.
There's no mountain.
Mountain, but I love when they say Blackstrap Mountain. So it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, well, Jen Heil, our greatest mogul skier ever, got her start and trained and everything in Red Deer, right? The Red Deer Ski Club. So I think that's what it's called. So you know what? I mean, good for them. It's that moguls competition is fun.
I love it.
I wouldn't want to be those people's knees when they're 50 years old, but they sure can ski.
Yeah, it would be so difficult. And again, the bouncing that you see, and it's almost like they're just floating on them, right? You know,
like their upper body stays perfectly straight,
Yeah.
and their posture's perfect, and their head's not moving, and their knees are like pistons, right? Boom, boom, boom.
like jackhammer.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I say, it doesn't look very healthy,
No.
but you know, they're Olympic athletes for a reason. If you think you could just go out and do that, good luck to you.
Yeah. So I know you're just kidding, but I think you're looking forward to the Slovakia-Finland game, no?
Oh, big time. Yeah, I am for sure. For sure. For one, it'll mean this interview's over.
You know what? I might keep you on right till 8:40 now.
No, it'll be fun. Like we have heard a lot about this Olympic hockey tournament because it's so anticipated, right? We've missed a couple of Olympics. The greats are the best on best is finally here. Here we go. So yeah. And now, I mean, I remember the last Olympics when it was amateurs and the Finnish team. I mean, you barely knew any of the players. Now you're going to know almost the whole Finnish team and a good chunk of the Slovakian team. I assume the Slovaks will still have a bunch of guys though that aren't NHL players. Right? I don't know how many NHLers they would have. Have you seen their roster?
They think they have 8 or 9. It'd have to be 100% on that. Let me check while you're yakking here, but
yeah. Well, usually the rosters are up by now, but
yeah. 7. Duke says 7.
Duke says 7. Okay. So I think their captain is Tatar, if I'm not mistaken. So you know what? They're still a little bit fodder for the big boys, but they've got a bunch of good players. They can compete with the Germanys and the maybe even the Czechs and hell, maybe even Finland. Who knows? It's actually interesting. I'm also excited to watch Germany play. I think there's a team that's ready to sort of, I think maybe find a step and maybe compete a little bit more with the big boys.
Yeah. The only name like Marty Pospisil played in Calgary, Slavkovsky in Montreal, Dalibor Dvorsky played in like 15 World Juniors, and I'm exaggerating. I think he was 4 or 5.
He's the guy in St. Louis.
Yeah. And then on the back end is, they got Chernak and that's about it, really. Simon Nemec from the Devils. Other than that, old Marty Gernat, the former Edmonton Oil Kings, on the roster.
Who's their goalies?
That's the whole problem. They got a guy out of the University of Minnesota Duluth, a guy playing in Iowa, and a guy playing in Mountfield. Adam Gajan, Halavish, and Skorvenashk. That's all. That's guys you've never really heard of. That's their problem.
Jeez, you'd think a country like that would have a guy back home that's a little more pronounced, right?
Duke says Gayon was a big guy at the World Juniors a couple of years ago.
Wow, Duke was getting up to watch that Slovak game, was he?
Duke knows more about the Slovakian roster than anyone. Wait till Laddie comes in here and talks about the Czech roster.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
they're going to be going head to head.
Anyway, let's see what we have watched the women play on that rink, and by all accounts, like the guys at practice, the women in their games, no one's saying that this smaller neutral zone seems to mean much. Let's see if there's one of these European nations employs some crazy defensive system that exploits the fact that the neutral zone is smaller. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. I'm looking forward to finding all that out.
The Canadian men practicing. It was an open practice, by the way, Specker. You're happy about that?
Yeah, they did today. The morning skate finally. Yeah. Well, no, the day before. Sorry, they don't play today.
Yeah. Not the morning skate though. But anyway, Pierre Lebrun sent out the fact that the PK forward units, Hagel and Horvat, Marner and Stone, Marchand and Suzuki. Those are the forward PK forward sets.
Okay.
Were announced. The lines were the same up top for the top 6, but McKinnon's now with Hagel and Reinhardt, Horvat with Suzuki and Marchand. So It's the same with Celebrini, McDavid, and Wilson. And then you got Sid Crosby between Marner and Stone. So
Okay.
these lines are going to move around all the time.
Those are first lines in the NHL, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know, those are the first line on most NHL teams. So that's how good they are. They got basically 4 first lines. They're all first line players. I know Marchand's fallen down a little bit in his old age, but whatever. You know, that's how good Canada is. It's a formidable team. They're going to win a couple games, you know, 8-0 here at some point. And really, if there's a curse for being so good, it's that I'm not sure they're really going to, you know, there's a chance they don't even get challenged until they're in a situation where it's lose and go home. You know, that's the challenge at these things.
You think that this Czech game is going to be more of a walk then? See, I don't. I think the Czech game is going to be tougher than people think.
It might be. I'm you know, I'm not trying to say the Czechs. It might be a nice close game. It might be 7-1. That's how good Canada is. Like, I won't put it past Canada to blow the Czechs out of the water. I like to show the Czechs enough respect. They got a good team. They got a bunch of good players. Sure. Could they limit this thing to being a 3-2 game? They could. But I'll tell you what, that Canadian firepower that they have, they're going to draw penalties, and then they're going to crush in the power play.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to score in bunches. Each line coming over the boards is absolutely capable of scoring goals. I don't see the Czechs that if this is going to be a 1-goal game, Kevin, the Czechs are going to have to score at least 4.
Well, let's be honest. Okay, everyone knows how talented and how good this forward group is. It's been talked about for 2 years here, Spec. But the defense and goaltending isn't as good as some other countries here. And that's a simple fact.
Yeah, okay. No question, right? They don't, gone are the days that Canada has the best team from 1 to 20. You know, we still have a pretty good defense. We got good players back there. They'll give our forwards pucks at the right moment and at the right time. And this team will do a lot of defending because it has the puck and it won't be in their end. When they finally, you know, I think this speaks maybe to what I was saying. When they finally do meet a team that has the ability to pin Canada in its own end for a length of time, you know, that's going to be an elimination game. And then we're going to find out how good this defense is and if they can handle it.
Yeah. And that elimination game, like the way it's set up here, Spec, Canada should have no problem at all with the quarterfinal game. None. Now, when we get to the semifinal, now that's when they could be playing a Finland or a Sweden or something like that. Because that's just
right. Who do they get? They get the Czechs, they get the Swiss, and then they get France. Yeah.
Right? So if they don't finish at the top of the pool, then there's a problem. Not a problem, but there's a disappointment for sure.
Well, there's probably a problem. Yeah. I mean, I suppose you could lose a close game to the Czechs and then they could run the table. Sure. But no, for sure. Like, listen, we're still at the state where Canada, best on best, our guys are, come on. We got the best 2 players at the tournament, I would say, in McDavid and McKinnon. And you got Sid Crosby. And they're your center iceman. You know, and is Makar the best defenseman in the National Hockey League today? A lot of people would say he is, and he plays for your team. So,
listen, I'm not denying the fact that their forwards are unbelievable. The defense worries me. I'm not kidding, and the goaltending is a concern. They never named a starting goaltender here yet, Spec, for the first game, although I think most people are pointing towards Binnington. John Cooper did say, Spec, that there will be different goaltenders for the first 2 games. That is
well,
so
it should be.
He did say that. So,
okay, I got a question for you. Sure. Stretch it into the rest of your show if you want. Which team's captain is the best player at these Olympics?
Which team's captain? Well,
who's got the best captain at this Olympics?
Well, wouldn't it be Sid Crosby?
At this moment in time, who's the best player?
That's the captain. So, well, I want Sid Crosby over Austin Matthews.
Okay.
So like where else you saying? Like, I mean, Roman Yossi's in Finland, so I'm taking Sid over Roman Yossi.
No. Roman Yossi's a Swiss.
Swiss, sorry, pardon me.
Granlund is Finland.
Granlund is Finland.
Landeskog is in Sweden.
No, yeah, it's Sid Crosby over
Tatar.
everyone.
What about the guy in Germany? Is he a better player than Sid right now?
Oh, maybe. I guess. Yeah. Sorry. I just don't think that Germany is doing anything here, though. Do you?
That's not the question. The question is, at this point in time, as we drop a puck today in Milan, among the captains, who's the best player?
Well, it's Leon.
I would say it sounds disrespectful to say he's a better player than Sid. He hasn't had a better career than Sid. He hasn't won more cups than Sid. He's not going to the Hall of Fame before Sid. He's not the legend Sid is, but he's a better player than Sid is right now. It's impossible to argue that, correct?
I would say, and I mean, Leon is going to put this team on his back as much as he can, right? So he could have a whale of an Olympics.
Yeah, my point would be, like, I always feel like in hockey and watching the Oilers play and, the very limited crappy hockey I ever played, when you got the best player on the ice in a game, it makes a difference. When you look across the other bench and say our best guy is way better than their best guy. Now, they're not saying that when they play Canada, if they play Canada. But when Germany plays in this tournament, most games, almost every game that they're going to end up playing, they're going to look over the other side and go, our best guy is better than their best guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something Germany has never been able to say. So they got somebody to follow. They got a few guys behind them. I think they might be a bit of a, dark horse team, Kev.
Really? Okay. Well, listen, the way you asked the question, I was sort of blank for a second there. Yeah, I was blank.
It's a goofy question.
It is, but yeah. No, the best player that the team's captain, it is Leon, and there's
right. He's not better than McDavid, but McDavid's not the captain.
Yeah, and Sid Crosby's wonderful, wonderful career leader. But if you're going head to head, I mean, you're probably taking Leon.
Well, I mean, how many 50-goal, 100-point seasons has Crosby had lately, right?
Yeah.
And he's Crosby, no disrespect.
He's a point-a-game guy, Spec. He's a hell of a player.
Yeah,
and he's going to have a great Olympics here too. So.
Oh boy, yeah, for sure. He could be the
people already texting in, Spec. Already are texting in saying, if that's the question, Spec, it's a stupid question.
Well, I was writing a piece on Leon and how Germany's never had anybody to follow. Frankly, that's kind of what I was writing, and I got to thinking. So I went and found all the captains.
And
my question stands up. Sorry,
who's the captain of the Czechs?
Is it like Chervenka or somebody?
Yeah, Duke says, yeah. Duke knows two things: captains and capitals.
I think it's Chervenka.
All over the world.
Chervenka.
Yeah.
So there's only one guy that is close.
Yeah.
And that'd be Sid. I mean, we're not arguing about Matthews here, are we?
No,
I don't get how Matthews becomes the captain of that team.
There was a guy,
anybody, anywhere, anytime. What's Billy Guerin doing?
Someone put a thing out, Spec, about Sidney Crosby's team accomplishments compared to Austin Matthews.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that?
Yeah, it was a Pittsburgh guy. I think Josh Yohe put that out.
Is that who it was? And then so for Austin Matthews, it said one first round playoff win in the NHL. And then it had Sid's. It had all of them. And there wasn't enough room on the page.
Don't sell him short. I think he said 2.
Was there another one?
I think he said 2.
Oh, whatever it was.
Come on, Kev.
Oh, I know. All right, Spec. We'll let you get back to your Olympic sports watching. What are you going to? You're at 8:40. You're Slovakia and Finland, or is there anything else that you have on the program?
No, I'm watching a little hockey today. I'm going to transfer the operation out to the lake today, Kev.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. We're going to make the switch out to the lake. Wrigley and I are heading out there.
For how long?
Well, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Maybe for a while.
Well, I was thinking of maybe coming for a visit and watching some.
Oh, are you? Well, you should hurry. We're on grandchild watch here. So Shelka ditched me and Wrigley.
Wow.
So
I thought you were supposed to be like part of that.
Well, no, because it's not happening yet. She's over there just in case, on the ready. Said, I'm not going to sleep on a couch on the ready.
Yeah.
Give me a call when it's time to get into motion here.
Okay. Sounds good.
Hopefully I'll be sober when the call comes, Kevin.
Well, I'm kind of concerned about that too. We'll talk to you tomorrow, big guy from the lake.
All right.
Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet on the mark. Brought to you powered by Northgate Chevrolet. This truck's for you. We'll get the Blair's text as well. We got Lorianne Munzer. Blair wants to know about plaque, something like that. You've been avoiding my question like plaque. So something is it plaque on your teeth, Blair? Something like that? I think we're having a little fun with Blair here too.
Well, yeah, Blair texted the similar thing in several times the week while you were away.
Oh.
And I think got upset that I wouldn't answer it, even though you weren't here. And he essentially just wanted me to ask every single guest we had about this prediction that you had a few weeks, month or so ago.
Well, okay. And it's about the Jets making the playoffs. Okay, they had a bad week while I was gone, hey, Duke?
Yeah.
So that's disappointing. I really thought that the Jets could go on a roll here. They're so far out. There's not a chance that they can make it now, I don't think. But I wanted the Jets to make it. They're a Canadian team. But as Blair said, since you were avoiding my question, lean the plaque, like the plaque. I know it's the plague, dummy. Thanks, Josh. Can you ask Spec what about if he thinks the Jets are making the playoffs? Well, they're so far behind now. While I was gone, and did they win a game even, Duke? I don't even know. Likely didn't. Are they 11 out now? Something like that. 11 points back of a playoff spot. It's too much. I mean, look at Florida. They're 8 or 9 back as well. When we come back, Lorianne Munzer will be with us. A little late to the party. Sorry, Lorianne. It's straight ahead on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram and Twitch.
Hello. You're never going to believe this. Booster Juice called your name today. You can get a free smoothie or acai bowl.
No way. I'm heading there now.
Oh my gosh, you and my brother had the same name. Okay, I'm calling him next. I'm hanging up.
Booster Juice Names of the Day is back. 2 names are selected each day, and if your name matches, you can get a free smoothie or an acai bowl. Watch for your name on the Booster Rewards app and social media. Must be an app member to qualify. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Business owners, if rising electricity costs are cutting into your profits, there's a smarter way forward. Right now, federal clean technology tax credits can cover 30 to over 50% of the cost of a commercial solar system, delivering an immediate return on your investment. And in Edmonton and Sturgeon County, the Commercial Clean Energy Improvement Program offers long-term financing for up to 20 years, making solar more affordable than ever. Lock in lower energy costs for decades and strengthen your bottom line. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com to get started.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
The Edmonton Firefighters Rooftop Campout for Muscular Dystrophy is February 18th to 20th. Edmonton firefighters are again braving the elements by camping on the roof of Fire Hall number 2. This year, they've added a little twist and will start the rooftop campout with no camping equipment. The more money they raise for muscular dystrophy, the more equipment they get to survive an Edmonton winter, with a final goal of getting off the roof and helping this incredible cause. Donate now at any Edmonton Fire Hall or online at edmontonrooftopcampout.ca.
Invest for today and tomorrow. Vision Credit Union makes it simple with 2 RRSP options to fit your goals. Choose a secure term deposit RRSP with guaranteed returns or a mutual fund RRSP offering higher growth potential with exciting opportunities. With an RRSP, you'll save on your income tax, grow your investments tax-free, and get closer to your dreams. Whether it's retirement or your first home, the deadline to qualify for 2025 tax deductions is March 2nd. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
Crave is home to the reality hits everyone is talking about,
The stakes are high and trust is low.
including the Emmy-winning series, The Traitors.
The gloves are off, and we're going to be throwing haymakers right from the beginning.
Get ready for even more murder and mayhem from celebrity contestants like Mama Kelsey and Lisa Rinna.
I'm going to play this game in a way that no one's ever played it.
The Traitors. Stream now on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Let's play.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Loca Quality Market. Your next dinner is ready with Loca Quality Market's gourmet meals. Choose from over 200 chef-prepared meals. Shop local at loca.ca.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. Time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Getting snakes deep and giving 110% day in and day out for all your plumbing needs. Go to mrrooter.ca as we welcome in Lorianne Munzer, Olympic gold medalist. Good morning, Lorianne. How are you this fine Wednesday morning?
Good morning, Kevin. Doing fantastic. What a beautiful day out.
Oh, the weather here has just been fabulous here for a couple of weeks. There's no question about that. How much Olympic sporting coverage have you watched so far in the last, 4 or 5 days?
It's that time of year again, Kevin. It's hard not to watch the replays or, the live coverage, and I am trying to soak in as much as I can. Yeah.
So do you watch early in the morning? For me, again, people have been texting and we've been talking about this a lot, Lorianne, because, TSN's got the 5 channels. Sportsnet has the 5 channels. It's CBC. It's on NBC. So you have to decide how you're flipping around if you're doing that, or do you want to commit to one channel or whatever. However, many channels are running the same thing. So it's almost like in the morning you go, I don't want to miss this. So you do a little more surfing than what you normally might do. So what are your viewing habits? Like, do you kind of watch a little more in the morning, or are you waiting for more of a recap later? What are you doing?
Oh, well, I've been checking the schedule and it's just like, I won't be getting up at 1:00 in the morning because of the time difference. So catching the replays and the highlights have been a lot of where I've been surfing and that. And I'm on Olympics.com just for a really good schedule of what's coming up and who's done what. And then if there's something that I totally want to see the whole, how did it roll out? How did it happen? Then, I'll find that and watch that replay coverage that was live early in the morning. It tends to be more later in the afternoon and the evening, just, with work, with coaching, with teaching. I mean, yesterday was a triathlon. It was a triple day. I was speaking at McNally. They were kicking off their career day. So I was the, kicking off short keynote speaker here. So talking about the mindset and, open it up to their questions and, along with, well, what was it like standing on the podium and what did you do when doubt jumped in and started to ambush you? Their questions were fantastic.
Oh, cool.
And then, I have 2 regular coaching programs that I did. So they were just back to back. And the cool part was I got to teach from school. So how cool is that?
So when you're talking to the kids, say like at McNally, like you did, as you said yesterday, they must be just sitting there wide-eyed and just excited to listen to, maybe they're not even familiar with what you've accomplished, Lorianne, but they're familiar with what it takes to be an Olympian and what it takes to win an Olympic gold medal. How is that a fair assessment?
Yes and no, I think. Like I wanted to find out, a lot of the schools have access to the velodrome, and typically it would be in the nicer weather, so May till September maybe, to be able to ride the track. Now we have an indoor velodrome that's covered, so they can ride, 9 months of the year from September right through winter into June and that, and even beyond if they wanted to. A lot of people don't realize what the journey is of an Olympian, and one of the things I've realized the most over time is that most people think confidence just comes automatically, and it doesn't. It's like belief. It has to be built up, and it's built over time. But then how do you build it? And I come up with this acronym. I love acronyms because they're quick to teach. They're easy to remember. And I call it the ABC. Action builds confidence. if you don't take action, if you don't try and get out there, whether it's the slopes, the moguls, I try and avoid the moguls as much as possible if I'm out on the ski hill, because I get tossed and bounced and slammed around. It's like, yeah, no, that's not for me. But you got to get out there. And I heard one person explain skiing is just about making two moves, two turns, turn left, turn right. And it's like, wow, okay, when you break it down into, simple, basic 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, it's almost like dancing. And then you get into this groove, and most people go, oh, well, you start out as an Olympian. You're really good at it. No, I sucked. We all suck at some point. And it's just perseverance, persistence, it's dedication. It's, you see somebody else and you're going, hey, if you can do that, then I can do it. And it's just getting out and trying. And the kids, you could see the light bulbs go on and just go, oh, okay. And it's also not just about winning. Sometimes you do an Olympic you're at that level. Your next Olympic is, okay, now we're serious. Podium, gold medal, bronze, silver. Nobody says, I'm going to lose. Nobody ever says that. It's whether or not they say it out loud. Sometimes that scares a lot of athletes because, well, I don't want to jinx myself. And Canadians, I mean, we're noted for that. Don't say it out loud because we don't want to jinx ourselves. There's all kinds of superstitions with sports. And, how you do it. Do you put your left shoe on? Do you put your right shoe on? What's the first thing you do? What's the routine? And these are things that you learn by doing. And then your awareness grows. And then it's like, oh, okay, I could have done that better. How do I do it? How do I bounce back when a goal is scored or you crash on the ski hill? It's what do you do to mitigate this? And it's not everything is done in one day. And that was how I related it to Career Day, because they had a number of different industries come. It was amazing. I walked around the hallways. They had tables and displays, and, the students could talk to the professions. And the one thing I said to the students when I was talking afterwards is, go find somebody who's doing what you want to do. Ask them if you can follow them around for a day or maybe 2 days, because we have an idea of sometimes, wow, skiing is great. I don't want to go at 100 kilometers an hour or 120 kilometers an hour. But if you're a ski racer, that's what you're building up to. But sometimes we don't ask enough questions. We see it on TV. Oh, it looks great. It looks easy. And wasn't it Speck who was saying, oh, yeah, it looks really easy on TV, but it's a lot harder than it looks. Like, go try it out and you'll find out where you are, and then what athletes who dedicate their lives, whether they work full-time or part-time or not at all, what the actual level is and what it takes to get there.
Yeah, for sure. Lori-Ann Munzer with us on Sports 1440. I want to talk a little bit about the Canadian women's Olympic hockey team. So as you know, they lost 5-0 to the Americans yesterday. And really, Lori-Ann, if you go back a calendar year, they've lost 7 consecutive games to the United States. The Canadians have. They've been outscored 35-11 in those 7 games that they've lost. So if you were in Italy right now, and they play Finland tomorrow, but everyone is, hoping obviously for, a rematch with the Americans at some point here in a gold medal game. The team seems as down as it possibly can get to the outside people here, to the outside world. What would you be saying to this team right now, Lori-Ann, as the Olympics move on here?
Well, a 5-0 loss is feedback. It's not identity. And sometimes we equate it to that. You don't win gold or bronze or silver without getting punched first time. And sometimes it's, okay, do you want to adjust? Do you want to adjust? And if you do, what are you going to bring? And I think it's about identifying what can each player do, what can each player contribute at this moment, because this is about emotional discipline. It sucks, the results. It is a fact. The U.S. has speed. They have skill. Sure, it is a younger game. We've talked about age, being older, competing against younger athletes, all depending on the sport. This is a sprint game because it's a shift. You have to win the shift. And my question would be, are you prepared to win every shift that you are when you are out on the ice? Are you prepared to win the shift? And if you are, walk me through it. Talk me through it. Because when you talk it, it makes it real. And it's like, okay, if we're saying something and it's not going where we really need to go, maybe you got to, pick up the speed more, pass more, be more aware, proprioceptor, where the players are. I don't know, for the hockey stuff, but I do know the mindset game for it. And sometimes this is where you can counter it with, hey, okay, now we got to raise it up through it. So number one, I would say, are you in or out? Are you prepared to win the shift? And what are you going to do? Yeah, because you got to name it.
What about, like, how do you go about, like, say if you're a coaching staff or the core leadership group, veterans, and they have to ask this question to themselves. How do you challenge each person individually in the room? Because there's been talk here, Lori-Ann, that maybe that this wasn't the right team that was assembled. There were other players that were left off this roster. So how do you go about that where the players have to be accountable for them wanting to be here and think that they are the right mix? They are the right player that was named. Where does that come into play from within, and then from players within the room saying, all right, let's challenge ourselves to be better and be who we think we can be?
I've seen this happen, and a really awesome way to bring up the energy and bring it out is to have one player pick out what is the person next to you when you're going around the room, say in a circle, if you can visualize that, is the person to your left. All right, bring up and talk about what is their best skill or what do they do great. Just one thing. And then go to the next person, go to the next person, go to the next person, and start bringing it out, because you can talk about what you do wrong. We all know that. And those are the easiest things to say. It's harder when you have to go, what do you do, Kevin? You ask really great questions. You get the conversation going. Sometimes you go way deeper than expected. And that's a skill right there. So what you're looking for is the skill to bring up the confidence, which brings up the belief. And you can only do that by talking about an action that they do well. And that comes back to the McNally ABC that I talked about. Action builds confidence, is bring them up. And, when we were on the team riding and cycling, and we would be doing a certain set distance, there would be 4 of us in a team time trial. Every time you finished your pull at the front, sometimes into a really bad headwind or a hard climb, and you're coming back, you're like, just go, just give her, good job, you got this, right? And as you start to pick out those skills and the good things of what you do, sometimes as an athlete, you don't realize it until somebody says, hey, you know what? You're really good at this. You're really strong on the hills. You're really good at sprinting. You're good at keeping us together. You're good at keeping the chatter going. And sometimes that chatter is enough to raise the buzz and the energy that you need to go, you know what? I can do this. And then we can do this. And when you start to have that confidence, the belief comes. And then it's like, all right, look, let's go out. Let's win the shift. Let's do whatever it takes. And we're going to find out if they're prepared to do whatever it takes. And sometimes you win, sometimes you get second place, or in sports, you lose, as we say, but you're up against speed, you're up against skill. So what are you going to do? This becomes, maybe because some of the players are a little older, as aging, as some of the media say, is you got to play the mind game. If you can't outrun them, you have to outsmart them. So the question is, can you do that? And that's part of the game.
Let me ask you this with the Olympic results for Canada right now, just 2 bronze and a silver. And, I think you'd have to say it's a disappointing start. It's a disappointing for podium results. And I know everyone's trying their hardest and trying their best, but at what point here, Lori-Ann, do we go, well, this is just not good enough as far as results go?
Well, if you put in a number on it of, X number of golds, X number of silver, X number of bronze, of course, I mean, it's a measure and metric game here, right? But, you can't just do it without having the programs. I think Ian, when you were talking to him this morning, the previous hour, if you don't have development programs, how can you expect medal performances if you're not having the support and the training? Where do you go? You can do it like, Jungle Jim Hunter used to do. Saskatchewan, flat. I mean, he used to strap. Well, he didn't. I thought he strapped his skis onto the truck that his dad was driving down the road. They weren't strapped on. Like, who the heck does that? Who gets into a farm tractor wheel well? And that's the centrifuge force that you're trying to combat and just get out. And then you jump out, and then you're just like, okay, I got to stand without weebling and wobbling and falling down. Like, that is crazy stuff. But if you don't have the support and the program to build it, you got to build your own. And that's what a lot of these athletes do. Then you get to the Olympic Games and they go, oh, okay, well, now you're a team and you got to figure out how to play. And without the support, you can only go so far. And it doesn't necessarily equate to bronze, silver, or a gold medal. Sometimes we call it luck when you can't explain, how somebody did it, but sometimes you just get lucky, right time, right place, right mindset, everything aligns that you've been doing and it comes together, and sometimes it doesn't. But we have to have the support. This is an ongoing issue. Olympic athletes, sometimes we live on shoestring budgets. Sometimes we live at home. Sometimes we have to go back to living at home, or we're billeted, and we just have people who come together. Canadians come together when it's time at the Olympics. That's what we see. The question becomes what happens the day after the Olympics are done until the next one starts. And the exposure on radio, on TV, the media, an athlete can do it social media wise by themselves, which is great compared to 21 years ago when I raced. I mean, we didn't have that venue or that option, but we got to get the athletes into the public, telling the stories of, where are they going? What are they doing? How are they doing it? What's their story? And that's the fire that we need to keep building. And then we got to turn it into a bonfire if you want the medal results.
Did the opening ceremonies bring back memories for you, Lori-Ann, even though you had to watch all the athletes in those ridiculous coats?
Kevin, it took me back to 2000. That was my first Olympic opening ceremony. It's the only one I've done. I haven't done closing ceremonies because in Sydney, I left early because we had the World Championships in 6 weeks. So I went to be serious and prepare for it. I probably should have stayed. And then for the Athens Olympics, I was in Hyères, France, training, preparing. That was the most important because I could have more track time. I could have quiet. I could have calm. And then I went into the games about 5 days before all of the racing started. So just watching it on TV it's an experience. It's a once in a lifetime experience. And it is so hard to describe the energy other than, wow, it's amazing. And it is something you will always, always remember. And if you can do an opening ceremony, closing ceremony, go do it.
Great stuff, Lori-Ann. Hey, do you have a favorite winter Olympic sport that you watch?
I'm going to say all of them. Gregor was pressing me on Friday with pick one. And it's like, are you kidding? It's impossible for me to pick one.
Well, you were just talking about moguls. We just watched the freestyle skiing women's moguls. I think you could handle that. I mean, you got the powerful legs and the abs and everything like that. I think you could handle it. I'd like to see you try it. And then also, never mind the moguls, but the 2 jumps that they have to conquer as well.
Oh my gosh, that is just crazy stuff. I would love to go with you and get lessons on how to navigate and negotiate that. And then when we get to the jumps, I want to be like, carabinered, strapped in, bungee ropes, just so that I could practice. And I have a hard enough time just jumping on a trampoline. I could not even imagine going off of a jump. The stunts and the jumps these athletes do is mind-bending. Forget about mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-bending of where did you get the idea that you wanted to do this? That's the question I would want to ask. Where did this start from? Maybe
we'll see you down at, I don't know, Rabbit Hill, something like that.
Snow Valley?
Snow Valley, anything.
Okay. I definitely do that.
Have a great one. Thanks, Lorianne. Appreciate it. Have a great week. Enjoy the Olympics, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks.
It's Lorianne Munzer, Olympic gold medalist from 2004, and was in the opening ceremonies in 2000 as well. And our headliner of the day brought to you by Mr. Rooter, the number one overall pick in your fantasy plumbing pool. That's mrrooter.ca. Slovakia and Finland underway. The very first game of men's hockey at the Winter Olympics, scoreless. 2.5 minutes into the game. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts. One from Sham that just came in. Oh, so true, Sham. We'll get to that right after the break. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
There's a lot of great seasons in Alberta. Hockey season, harvest season, the winter season, and the even more winter season. But GS Construction is already preparing for our next great season because while the city slows down, we plan ahead. Projects, people, and pipelines. Everything starts taking shape for another strong year underground. We're also getting ready for our next hiring season in March. We want new people who want to build something that lasts. For more on us and to apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
McValue breakfast meals are $5 plus tax every day. Get a sausage McMuffin, bagel with cream cheese product, or breakfast burrito with hash brown and small coffee, all for just $5 plus taxes. Available until 11 a.m. at Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI. Custom Floors, Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59,900. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Every lunchtime, hang with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. Low Tide and Declan Kruger gives you the deep dives, sharp analysis, and Edmonton Sports Talk done right. Your game, your station, Sports 1440.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the Center Bar. Plus, catch all the biggest games, every goal, every slam dunk. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
As players get ready to represent Canada, the regular hockey season takes a break. But don't forget about your winter breaks, BRAKES. At Napa Auto Parts, you'll find gold medal level stopping power and all your other world-class automotive parts and needs, like podium-worthy Napa Gold filters. Napa Auto Parts is here to support your commute, your drive to the rink, and eventually your own gold medal moment. With close to 600 locations throughout the country and over 85 in Alberta, stop into your local Napa store today. Let's go, Canada! That's Napa know-how.
You're listening to Sports 1440 and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Sports 24/7. We are Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 848 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you here on Sports 1440. We're going to miss David Schlemko coming in at 9 o'clock, not feeling 100 per today. Who's that, Joe Diffie there, Duke? Is that Joe Diffie?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pickup man.
The pickup man. What's his other big?
It's where I got my honky tonk attitude. John Deere Green is probably his biggest.
John Deere Green.
That one we just played, Third Rock from the Sun, Bigger Than the Beatles.
Who's saying the one?
And honky tonk attitude, as I kind of alluded
What's
to.
the prop me up beside the
that's
Joe
him
Diffie. Too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, Joe Diffie passed away a couple of years ago during the pandemic.
Oh.
And then a current artist, Hardy, he kind of put out like I guess it's a tribute album with a bunch of other like guys from Diffie's era, the 80s, 90s country stars, and then some modern people. They all kind of came in and collabed on a number of Diffie's biggest hits. Unreal.
It's really
good listening.
That good
is that tribute record.
News from Jeff Passan from MLB.com just coming down here. Arizona Diamondbacks star outfielder Corbin Carroll broke the hamate bone in his right hand. He's undergoing surgery today, so he's going to miss the World Baseball Classic opening day in serious question. I'm just thinking, so he's a left-handed batter, so he broke it on the bottom hand. That's going to be a little tougher for him to get through. He's a left-handed thrower, so that's not good news for the Arizona Diamondbacks for sure. I just got a text from Low Tide just now, Duke. Just now, because I sent him one last night about coming into our Major League Fantasy Baseball draft. And he said, no, I don't have the time. I love doing it. I just don't have the time. But I asked, here's the text that I sent to Tide last night, Duke. Tide, the ERL wants you back. Tim Ellis is done. That's why there's an opening. Our friend Tim Ellis from Camrose. We need an owner. The guys asked if he would like to come back minus the axe. So do you know the story, Duke?
Oh, I've heard it many times out of pure frustration.
Minus the axe.
Low Tide resorted to chopping down a tree in his own front yard. Sort of like George Washington-esque.
Yeah.
He cannot tell a lie out of frustration for his fantasy baseball team.
Yeah. Chop the tree down.
Chopped a tree down.
Like George
his front
Washington.
yard. I believe the story goes that his wife was not very pleased.
Like I could just imagine how upset and pissed off that he would get back in the day. And like even at this draft, these guys here, like I get upset at them, Duke, at the draft because they just don't want to. They don't want change. They don't want to have some rule changes for the betterment of the league.
Like what? Oh, so they're a lot like just the game of baseball for a long time.
Yeah, well, they are. Like, so for instance, I'm trying to institute a rule here because it's just National League only.
Mm-hmm.
So the rule should be if you have a player that's traded to the American League, your player, you should get to keep him for that year. You don't have control on the trades. So let's just say there's a big trade and you lose a guy that it's one of your key players. You shouldn't lose that guy. He should go to the American League.
So like last season when Naylor and Suarez are traded midseason from the Diamondbacks, an NL team, to the AL Seattle Mariners.
You keep them for that year.
Okay.
Because they're under 3-year contracts.
In this draft.
In this league, yeah. And that's how auction. Then it's an auction, right? So conversely, when players come back and are traded, let's use Mason Miller for an example here, traded from Oakland, right?
Right.
So he comes to the National League and now he's available for FOB money. So why should you be able to get a guy like Mason Miller? Because at that time, most people had spent a lot of their FOB and the owners get him for a song. And now they have him for 2.5 years. He should not be available to the teams in the National League because he's coming in a star player that wasn't available to people at the draft. And at very worst, he should go back in the pool next year. You shouldn't be able to keep him down more. Slovaks have just scored, Duke, to take a 1-0 lead on Finland.
The pesky Slovaks.
Is that Slavkovsky? Yes.
It is. Uri.
Slavkovsky. Look how Duke.
Oh, people forget. Well, maybe they don't forget. It's not very many years ago. The prime reason he vaulted to the number 1 pick in that draft was because of how well he played at the World Championships.
Yeah.
Right? As a then 18-year-old. He clearly really enjoys this international game and wearing his country's colors. And that's a nice touch on the first goal.
Very nice. So 1-0 for Slovakia. I wanted to get to Sham's text that came in before the break. Maybe if our government prioritized our athletes and Canadians in general, the support would be better and valuable towards results for both. Totally agree here. And again, if you even go back a few years, how pitiful it was. It got better for, it's better than what it was. But back in the, several, a decade or so ago, it was so awful. I mean, you hear the stories. Landon Ferraro with a great story when we had him on Monday. So Landon's talking about, and he went to the Olympics in 2022 in Beijing. I can't remember the guy's name that he talked about, but they were training together and lifting weights and he was getting ready for the Olympics as well. This would be 4 years ago, maybe even a touch earlier. And Landon said, okay, see you later. I'm off to the golf course here. And this guy's going, yeah, I'm heading down to my job at the boatyard, scraping barnacles off the bottom of a boat. So I'm able to buy my gym membership and be able to train with you, Landon. So, and that's one of thousands of stories, across the country, are they not? And that's just exactly how a lot of these athletes, to get to their dream of the Olympics every 4 years, that's exactly what they have to do to get there. Brent Lambert says, call it a rotisserie league and Low Tide will join. Hey, Brent, we need a guy. I don't know if anyone's interested. I asked the Duke. He said no. It's pretty tough. It's a tough league. These guys they're savages. Matt and Leduc says chopping down a tree was not a popular move for Low Tide.
Poplar. Get it, Kev?
I do. I wonder what kind of tree it was. Did he ever say?
No, well, maybe he has, but I don't recall that part of the story. I don't think it's the relevant detail in the grand scheme of it. Maybe it was a cherry tree. Do we have those here?
Oh yeah, we've got one in the backyard.
Oh yeah, like a
sour cherry.
A sour cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
is
another.
Is that what George Washington chopped down?
No, those would have been the sweet cherries, man. What do you know about cherry trees, Josh? You're like what?
He's an expert, perhaps.
Do you know anything about trees? Like, are you a arborist? Like, he's just shaking his head. Like, no, don't even think about talking about it. Duke, do you know anything about trees? Like,
very little. I can tell that one's an aspen. You can tell by the way it is. That's some nature.
Glenn says, KK, stop complaining about everything on the morning show. It's a drag. Oh. What?
Yeah, Kevin, have you considered trying to be more optimistic and positive?
So what have I complained about?
Well, you just finished complaining about funding for our Canadian athletes. What a drag. Come on, Kevin.
So do you think the funding's okay, Glenn? Do you think it's all okay that the funding that these athletes get? And we've talked about it for, I don't know how many, since we started the program, but I've talked about it for 35 years. Every 4 years, we talk about these athletes and then we don't talk about them again for 4 years. Mm-hmm. It's a simple fact. And they don't get enough funding. So what am I complaining about, Glenn? Let me know. Let me know what I'm complaining about today. Top of the hour, it would be David Schlemko coming in, but Schlemmer's not feeling 100%. So Duke and I will digest maybe a bit of this Slovakia game. And again, it is 1-0 Slovakia over Finland. An early goal by Juraj Slavkovsky, Montreal Canadiens forward. I also saw, hey, Thomas Tatar's playing, Duke. That's another old NHLer, correct? He's playing in Germany now.
Swiss League, I believe, with Zug. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so he technically does not count as one of the one of the 7 NHLers. They have 7 other NHL players currently on the Slovak team.
Just the currents.
But yeah, I mean, hey, they have some obviously really good players. Guys, names that people would recognize like Chernak and Ferrari, Slavkovsky, obviously. So, and you mentioned Dvorsky, Nemec. Yeah, there's a few.
Exactly. So we'll get to some of your text 833-401-1440 after a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. Here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Canadians in action this morning at the Olympics from Italy. The women's moguls finals wrapped up earlier on. Maya Schwinghammer finished 6th overall, while Lorianne Desmarais Gilbert, Ashley Kohler, and Jessica Linton all qualified for the final but did not advance to the second run. In the men's Super G Alpine skiing, James Crawford, Cameron Alexander, and Brody Seeger finished 16th, 17th, and 22nd, respectively. Women's snowboard halfpipe, Elizabeth Hoskins qualifying for the final, while Felicity Germania and Brooke Deneau did not. Men's and women's double luge events kicking off here at the top of the hour with Canadian tandem in each field. The men's 1,000-meter speed skating final will feature Anders Johnson, David Leroux, and Laurent Dubry. Brad Jacobs and his men's rink kick off their curling schedule, taking on Germany at 11. And the mixed ice dance free dance program goes at 11:30 with 3 Canadian pairs competing for a medal. Outside of Canadian action, men's hockey underway between Slovakia and Finland. Juraj Slafkovsky with a goal as the Slovaks lead the Finns 1-0 in the first period. Coming up at just after 1 o'clock, Sweden taking on Italy. In the association last night, Pascal Siakam, 30 points, lifts the Pacers to a 137-134 track meet OT win over the Knicks. Houston topped the Clippers 102-95. Phoenix getting past Dallas 120-111. And Victor Wembanyama put up a 40-point, 12-rebound double-double, propels the Spurs to a 136-108 win over the Lakers. And another MLB season is near as pitchers and catchers officially report 2 team facilities today, including the Blue Jays congregating in Dunedin, Florida. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Rod Peterson of The Rod Peterson Show, and we'll check in with a new edition of In or Out. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Hello. You're never going to believe this. Booster Juice called your name today. You can get a free smoothie or acai bowl.
No way. I'm heading there now.
Oh my gosh, you and my brother have the same name. Okay, I'm calling him next. I'm hanging up.
Booster Juice Names of the Day is back. 2 names are selected each day, and if your name matches, you can get a free smoothie or an acai bowl. Watch for your name on the Booster Rewards app and social media. Must be an app member to qualify. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Exciting news from St. Albert Dodge. The all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages have arrived. They have a great selection and a bunch of colors to choose from. And if you've checked out the Sport, you know it comes in some fun colors. Rugged capability, practical off-road features, and you can get behind the wheel for as low as $49,900. That's right. Put yourself in a brand new Jeep Gladiator Sport for less than $50,000. What more can you ask for? Time to head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.ca.
Jason Greger isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder. With over $2 million raised for local charities and his Greger Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Greger weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
Invest for today and tomorrow. Vision Credit Union makes it simple with 2 RRSP options to fit your goals. Choose a secure term deposit RRSP with guaranteed returns or a mutual fund RRSP offering higher growth potential with exciting opportunities. With an RRSP, you'll save on your income tax, grow your investments tax-free, and get closer to your dreams, whether it's retirement or your first home. The deadline to qualify for 2025 tax deductions is March 2nd. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
Crave is home to the reality hits everyone is talking about.
The stakes are high and trust is low.
Including the Emmy-winning series, The Traitors.
The gloves are off, and we're going to be throwing haymakers right from the beginning.
Get ready for even more murder and mayhem from celebrity contestants like Mama Kelsey and Lisa Rinna.
I'm going to play this game in a way that no one's ever played it.
The Traitors. Stream now on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Let's play.
The Winter Olympics have pairs skating.
Kevin can't even find matching socks.
Gold medal mornings. The Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
Oh, that's a new one, eh? A little new intro promo, eh, fellas?
Yeah, our good buddy Mike, the producer down the hallway, cooked that up.
I'll tell you what, Mike, I'm not wearing any socks.
Wow. The other day, Kevin, one of the ladies of this building walked past our studio.
And
this is Mel. She says to me as we get out by the bar, she's like, I don't know what it is, but every time I walk past that studio, you can definitely tell it's all guys in there. She said it smells like a hockey dressing room.
Really?
And I was pretty taken aback.
I think it's just fine.
I think it's pretty fine. And then yesterday, when I was leaving at the end of Fantasy Frenzy, Stella Stevens of CFCW Morning Show fame, she walks back out and she says, "Oh, it smells like fresh laundry over here." So conflicting reports.
I would think so.
Conflicting reports.
And I'll tell you what, when Mackenzie was on, the morning show, she came in with a nice fragrance, every once in a while.
I thought you were going to say she didn't say anything. And I was like, well, Kevin, if you were an intern, would you kick off your first couple weeks and say, he's like, man, you guys stink.
I don't that's the old, someone's deodorant's not working in here.
Right.
Can't be me because I'm not wearing any.
Well, that's exactly my point being here. The audacity of someone not to wear socks to the workplace.
Well,
especially when you're wearing Crocs.
I don't have my Crocs on, Duke.
You don't?
That's
today.
Only when it's severe weather. Like when I have my boots.
That's when you put your Crocs on.
Yeah.
Because you leave your boots at the door. Like
yes.
your winter boots.
And right now I've got my good running shoes on.
You going for a little jog after this?
Well, no, just in case I end up going down to the Elks news conference.
Oh, right.
But I don't know if I'm going to make a call here. If I get there in time, it might be over. Right? You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
So
maybe you have to leave early.
Well, I don't know. That's also a possibility. Yeah, I have to read Glenn's text here.
Yes, you do. It's inspiring.
Well, it's inspiring. All right. Glenn texted in and said, KK, stop complaining about everything on the morning show. It's a drag. Not enough medals, as you say, and I'm saying it's a disappointment so far. Learn the Olympics creed, as set by the IOC founder. Goes like this: the most important thing in the Olympic Games is not to win, but to take part. Just as the most important thing in life is not the triumph, but the struggle. The essential thing is not to have conquered, but to have fought well. I think it's a great creed. However, it was probably done a long time ago. I get the feeling here, Glenn, that you want participation ribbons handed out here. I don't I think times have changed in the sense that you want to go to the Olympics and you want to, isn't it everything? Am I wrong here? Don't you want to be a champion? Don't you want to win? I don't know. Is that what Glenn's getting at here? It's more about just being at the games and not winning?
Miley Cyrus. It's all about the climb.
This started about funding is how we talked about it, right?
Yeah.
And there's other texts that have come in this morning about, like Gransky says, we expect gold medals on sub-basement funding. It's not going to happen. This is a great one from Slurpee Sean. And this is something we discussed in the summertime, Duke. Slurpee Sean texts in, I was watching Dragon's Den this weekend. The Canadian women's rugby team was on Dragon's Den, looking for sponsorship, for funding. And after all of it, the Dragons said how it was a shame that the government did not fund more money and they still didn't get a deal. They still didn't get a deal from anybody. And that's where it's at. I'm going to throw this one at you, Duke. Before I left, I was texting you about the possibility of getting Kelsey Mitchell on. We didn't have very much luck with Kelsey Mitchell. Was it about a year and a half ago? We tried to get her on ballpark. So I can tell you, the reason why we got Kelsey Mitchell on is through a friend of mine, Corey Bablitz, who sponsors her through Bablitz Wealth Management. And I hope I'm not the Babber. I hope I'm not overstepping my grounds here. But he facilitated this. And yes, Kelsey Mitchell gets funding from RBC because that's how, she's one of the prime faces of RBC. And, when they change from sport to sport and go in the RBC training ground. But it's not enough. And the Babber sponsors her individually. And that's one of the main reasons why we got her on the program. And it's that simple. Text 833-401-1440.
Oh, just really quickly, I just got a text from Lord Commander Marty Stevens. Cam Tate wrote that bumper, that the sock pairs of socks intro.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, Tater. He wants to start giving me a couple digs. I can go back into the vault here, and I can start writing some things about Tater here. Oh boy. So a lot of I didn't want to make Glenn feel to be the bad guy. Sorry, Glenn, but a lot of people just texting in and saying, it's more about it's not about just the participation, I think, anymore. I think the goal is yes to get to the Olympics. But I mean, if you just go there and go, hey man, what an Olympic experience. I mean, every athlete wants to do their very best, just at the Olympics. It's in every sport. If you don't have that drive within you, you're not going to get to the Olympics anyway. You're not going to get to a high level of any sport. So you have to have that constant drive. You have to have the will. You have to have everything that whatever it is to make a champion. Now, having said that, it's tough to be a champion. Of course it is. I mean, think about how close the Oilers are or were, I guess, in the last 2 years to be champions. And it sucks to be second. And they were second. And there's going to be many Olympians here that, when they look back at it and they're going to go, how close was I? Did I give everything I had? Yeah, I think I did. Maybe I could have given just a tad more. Maybe I could have done something a bit more. Everyone is going to be in that boat. That's just life. Matt and Leduc says, I think for some athletes, the goal is to make the Olympics. For others, it's gold or bust. I get where everyone's coming across here. If you can get to the Olympics, it's a remarkable achievement. I'm not taking anything away from it. Please don't think about it coming across like that. But if you're that much of an elite athlete, and Matt says for others it's gold or bust. Well, you can look at the Canadian men's Olympic hockey team. If they don't win a gold medal, it's a bust. It is a disappointment. They're going to feel like they were close to getting there because they're going to be right in the mix here. It's kind of sad because there can only be one winner, and that's just the way it goes. 833-401-1440. Tiger says, I'm listening to YouTube, a few minutes behind, but of course Kevin has a cherry tree. Yeah, but someone has texted in husks. That was it. Evans cherries. That's the tree. It's called an Evans cherry tree. And they grow great in our climate. And, you can make a lot of good stuff out of there. We make a nice little cherry booze, Duke. So you soak it in vodka. It's like a Yucca Flux. You had Yucca Flux.
Oh, have I had Yucca Flux? I don't think I've ever been using Jacob's cherries.
Yeah.
Or is that what those?
Evans.
Yeah,
they're
I don't know where I got Jacob's from. Evans cherries. No, that's usually more like you just head to your local supermarket and buy a fruit tray and you just dump the whole thing into the cooler and then pour 12 bottles of liquor into it. Some white rum, some vodka, maybe some Everclear. It's always a fun addition.
Yeah.
And then deal with the fallout from that over the course of the next days, plural.
So, but would you eat the fruit and drink like everything?
Yeah,
at the same time?
You basically just open the lid of the cooler, dump your cup into it, and you put fruit juices and stuff into it as well. So there's quite a bit of liquid, and you just scoop it out and you sip the drink. You pull out pieces of fruit. Maybe you got a fork to reach the bottom of the cup, and you enjoy all elements of it. So that's a hit at slow pitch tournaments over the course of the summer. For sure.
Plus you're getting a little fruit in your body.
Well, you got to get your vitamin C in, Kev. It's especially weekends like that. You're usually quite devoid of proper nourishment. You may be eating a breakfast sandwich with some bacon and eggs, and then a hot dog and burger for lunch and supper every night.
And like every Saskatchewan Rough Rider fan is with the watermelon, right?
Of course.
So then after it's done and they put it on their head. So they would scoop out all of the goodness, right? And then put basically the rind on their head.
Yeah. An interesting tradition.
Yeah. So I don't know how much you know about Samuel Halava, Duke. I think I'm pronouncing
very
it right.
little.
He is the goaltender for Slovakia right now.
Yeah.
16 shots he's faced in the first period from Finland, 16 saves. It remains 1-0 Slovakia with 2 minutes left in the opening period.
Yeah, currently playing for the Iowa Wild.
Iowa Wild. Now, obviously, that's the Minnesota farm team.
Correct.
Maybe that's why they think that the Wallstead's available here, Duke, because of Samuel Halava.
Yes, he played at the World Championships, 23 and 24. Had a shutout against Poland.
Mm-hmm. How about Husks? He's a big cherry tree guy. The Evans cherry was discovered near Fort Saskatchewan. Did not know that.
Fun fact.
Doug texts in and says, Kevin, you're dead on about complaining about the lack of sponsorship for the athletes. And we've been doing this for Olympic Games forever, Doug, have we not? While people complain about the lack of medals, this goes hand in hand, trying to compete against other countries that have total sponsorship for their athletes. Hard to win for Canadians to win in certain disciplines when there's very low sponsorship. No brainer, people. Thanks, Doug. And it's little things like the training, as Doug says, because what do we say? I mean, there wasn't a male loser. There wasn't a men's loser this year. Like, to me, that's almost unacceptable because we had the Olympics here in 88. We had them again in 2010. There has to be the training possibilities. There have to be athletes that want to get into it. We've talked about Kelsey Mitchell now going into the Bob here because the opportunity for her in Calgary to train is there. The opportunity through Royal Bank training is there. So, I mean, there are avenues. There are avenues for sure. When we come back, Hot Rod, Norm Peterson, Rod Peterson from the Rod Peterson Show down in FLA. He'll check in right after the break. It's the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440 AM radio. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Sometimes you think about what you're going to do in the day. Go to work, pick up the kids from school, make supper. But at GS Construction, we think a little differently. Winter is our season to think, to plan, and to improve. We study, we innovate, we train. So when the thaw comes, we're ready to dig, build, and deliver even better, which means we need people like you. If you're thinking about joining the team at GS Construction, now's the time to do it. To apply and to see how we think, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 furnace replacement company for lovers. Because the best aphrodisiac is no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace from Legacy. So forget about the oysters, baby. If you really want to check the heat, we can be a thermal couple, baby. Give me your sweet loving legacy. Heat things up with no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Whether you're at home, in the car, or on the move, you're never more than a tap away from Sports 1440.
Download the radio player
or
iHeart app today
so you can get all access anytime to Edmonton's only sports radio station, Sports 1440.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
His name? Paul Del Vecchio.
better known as Pauly D from TV's hit reality series Jersey Shore. Now he's bringing the party to the venue at River Cree Resort and Casino. Get ready for DJ Pauly D. Voted as one of the best DJs in the U.S., his passionate, high-energy sets have made him one of the most sought-after DJs in the world. DJ Pauly D. March 7th. Hurry, get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Considering an EV, Subaru is the right choice. Discover their latest electric vehicle innovations, starting with the brand new Solterra, in stock and ready to test drive. Or the Trail Seeker, an EV at its core, a Subaru at heart, and built for adventure. Or the Uncharted, this sporty, all-new small compact SUV brings new levels of driving enjoyment to the all-electric space. Right now, Subaru is offering interest rates as low as 0.49%. Welcome to electric. Welcome to Subaru.
Irrelevant Saskatchewan history. Kevin's got it. But first, catch the exclusive interviews and stories nobody else has. The Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:20 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you here on a Wednesday morning. So glad you could spend some time with us here on Sports 1440. And time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. And again, at Fountain Tire, we focus on one thing, and it is your vehicle. From tires and wheels to oil changes to vehicle repairs, we have you covered. Visit fountaintire.com and book your appointment today as we welcome in Rod Peterson from the Rod Peterson Show. Good morning, Norm, you old parasite. What's going on?
Trying to capture the spirit of the thing, Dick.
Yeah, the old parasite. As every time I do your show down in FLA, Normie, you go, oh, look at that beautiful pool you got in the background. It's unreal. But every time I do your show, you say, my dearest and oldest friend in the broadcast business.
Which is true.
It is true. Well, it's 37 years or so.
Let's not count.
Well, back at when we went to school together at Mount Royal College, right? That's 1989.
90. Yeah.
89, 90. Because you were 1 year behind me.
That's right. I failed the grade.
Well, when I was setting all the standards, right, in the for the scholastic parts of MRC, because it wasn't a university at the time.
You gave me your test from the year before in the one class. Remember that? And he said, here, this is our test last year. Maybe they're going to do it this year. Use it to study. I got everyone right 100%. I should have probably got one wrong, but I couldn't help myself. They used the same test. How dumb are they?
Exactly. That was Mark Chikinda. Think
no,
about
it was
that.
Paul Dunphy. It was Paul Dunphy's class.
Yeah, well, and let's just say you and I weren't exactly his favorite students because we didn't fit the mold.
Not at all. Whatever that is. And here we are. Yeah.
Here we are. We're probably the only guys left out of those two classes, right? Do you know of anyone else?
Or is in the business? No,
Yeah,
probably
Peter
not. No, I don't think so.
Peter Ing still is somewhere.
Used to
Remember
work
that?
with his
Remember
wife.
Peter Ing?
Oh,
No
yeah.
relation
Worked
to
with,
No relation.
but he had some similarities, and we'll stop there. Can I tell you Paul Coffey's story?
Sure, yeah.
Because you're talking about the winning, the Olympics and stuff. I only care about one medal. Men's hockey. That's it. I don't care about the rest. But I've done. You're buddies with Coffey, right?
Well, buddies is a strong word. I mean, we're not going out for dinner, but every time I'm lucky enough to do some things with the alumni, and he's very good friends with Sparky Kulchiski. And, every time that Spark's around and I'm doing a little thing for the alumni here and there, we'll sit and have a quick chat and things like that. So,
okay. Well, I've done events with him too. And he was on the microphone to a group. It was in my hometown, actually. And he goes, why do we play hockey? And somebody in the back puts their hand up to have fun. He goes, no, to win. You want to have fun? Buy an RV. Go to Mexico. You work to play hockey. And when you win, then you have fun.
That's right. And that was the Oilers' mantra back in the day. And they had fun.
It worked. Right.
Yeah,
after the work was done. So, and I've never forgotten. I just sat there going, just when I thought I couldn't love you more.
Yeah.
You say that, because that's how I feel too. So anyways, good to see you, Dick. It's a beautiful day here in Florida.
Okay. What's behind you there? You got the pool. Is that your house or condo?
That's the clubhouse. That's the clubhouse. It looks like a scene from Golden Girls inside in there, the decor and everything. Yeah.
You know what's funny? So right about now with that's about in your wheelhouse, the Golden Girls.
I'm okay with that. I don't need any drama. I like peace. Life is good.
Yeah. I'm not sure which one would be the Golden Girls I see you with, but maybe Ruth McClanahan. I don't know.
Trust me. I never thought about it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got a choice. That's the whole thing. So, well, anyway, good to talk to you as always, Normie. Now, when you say you only care about the one sport, I get that being in Florida, but how much play do the Winter Olympics get in Florida?
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? A ton. Really? And the thing is, I've been down here now, as you know, 5 years, and I'm kind of missing the Canadian coverage because it's just, you got to understand, I don't know how much time you've spent in the States, but it's just constant brainwashing. USA, USA, USA. That's the way they are. There's so much pride. That's all they care about is winning, as you know. Yesterday, came in my inbox today. America won 5 medals yesterday, 5 gold. It's the most they've ever won in the Olympics in one day. It's just constant. So you ask how much play is it getting? Oh my God, it's everywhere you go. And I miss the Canadian coverage, but the days of Brian Williams, 8 o'clock Maritimes, 8:30 Newfoundland, that's gone anyways. So what is there really to miss? You know what I mean? It's just, thank God when the USA plays Canada in certain events, like women's hockey yesterday, you get that coverage, but I kind of miss the Canadian coverage. You don't hear any of it here.
Okay, the women's hockey then. So how much play did that get down there as far as, because it was basically a shellacking 5-0 win for the United States?
Well, I mean, there is a hockey community here and it's growing. So amongst me and my friends, I didn't hear them talking about it on the radio this morning. Dick, there are 6 all sports radio stations in my listening area. 6. Okay.
Wow.
And what they're talking about is the NFL draft coming up and what do the Dolphins need and and there's still Super Bowl leftovers. They don't even talk about the Panthers. They're not going to talk about women's hockey.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get that. So, I mean, that's kind of where I wanted to know where, the Olympics as a whole, not just the hockey, but just as a whole was down in Florida. That's kind of what I was getting at.
Oh, well, it's just what's USA doing today. That's all. Right. And so
I just thought too, Normally, I thought between the summer and winter, I thought there'd be just a massive discrepancy.
I know they're big on both. I mean, I spend my summers in Saskatchewan, as you know, so I don't really know how the Summer Olympics go over here. I don't. I'm just saying there's a lot of talk about the Winter Olympics here, whether it be in the gym, the grocery store, a little bit in the media, but there's not a lot on the hockey. But I'll say this, I mean, later on today, I'm doing my Panthers podcast and oh God, they're all over the USA Canada thing, which by the way is a poll question on my show, which is coming up on TELUS channel 924, Rogers Shaw channel 230. Sorry, there's my plug. Noon Eastern, 10 a.m. Mountain. Our poll question is which country has more pressure, men's hockey, Canada or USA? I think we all know the answer to that. But for the hockey people here, which there are, it's small but it's growing. They're frothing at the mouth just as much as Canadians are.
And there's a lot to do with, maybe Matthew Tkachuk because of Florida, with Reinhart and Bennett. How much does that have to do with it, Normie?
Most of it. There's 10 Panthers in it and 9 Lightning. Right? So, so we're sitting here at this break when we got, to be honest, it's kind of fun for me because we can sit and watch the hockey, the Olympic hockey and debate it, but also take your foot off your gas, which I'm sure you guys have done with the Oilers and everything and just kind of look at things. and go, when we pick back up here in 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever, how's he going to look? Because the Panthers are out of a playoff spot. Lightning are the number one team in the NHL. There's a lot to talk about hockey-wise here. And I stay away. I'm not going to get into the Marlins. I guess they're opening spring training today. Who cares? I don't care. I don't need to care. Or the Miami Hurricanes basketball team was on ESPN last night playing North Carolina. I don't care. I'm never going to get into that.
But most people do down there.
Yeah, but it's enough people that's why our numbers are so big with what we do. There's enough people that care about hockey that we're doing just fine with what we do.
Towards you, for sure.
Yeah.
Rod Peterson with us on Sports 1440, the Rod Peterson Show. You can watch it on Game TV. That's where I get it here, Normie, in the garage. When I'm out in the garage in the afternoon, the replay of it.
I got you.
Did you know that?
I'm aware. We're the only talk show on that channel that replays. I'm quite proud of that for whatever reason. So yeah, it's good. It's good.
Do you think they're just looking for programming, or what is it?
Well, I can't say that we're the highest rated show on the channel. It's Cash Cab, and that pisses me off because they haven't done a new episode since 2012. I'm like, how are they beating us? But they are. Well, somehow people like that.
A riveting show.
But as far as the talk shows, we're number one. They're not a talk show, though. I don't know what the hell they are.
Well, congratulations. You've deserved it. You deserve it. You've worked hard for it. But so I'm going to ask you this. With the men's Olympic hockey tournament starting today, and again, Slovakia is leading Finland 1-0 after the first period. Do you get that game down there on TV?
I haven't looked. Yeah. I couldn't tell you. To be honest, I mean, when I go looking for something, I generally find it. Like yesterday, I wanted to find the Canada women's USA women's game. It was on the USA Network. I mean, there's 2,000 channels, man. It ain't hard to find. So I'm sure I could find the Slovakia-Finland game. But again, I focus in on the one thing that I'm interested in. And by the way, yes, that women's hockey game was a letdown yesterday. But I know these men's games aren't going to be letdowns. I think they're going to be great.
So you said you had it on the poll. Who's got the more pressure? Canada, US, and we know the answer to it. Yeah. Who do you think? Who do you think is going to win the gold medal in Olympic hockey, and why?
Well, I think Canada. We're the reigning champs at that level. Whether you want to talk Four Nations face-off or the last time best on best played, we're still number one. But the reason I bring that up is at the Winter Classic here in Miami, it was Rangers versus Panthers, and Mike Sullivan, their roster had come out the day before, the head coach of USA, and he was just getting hammered, Dick, by the U.S. reporters from New York about why don't you have Adam Fox on there? Why don't you have Jason Robertson on there? And blah, blah, blah. And he was getting mad, right? And he looked at the Hey,
you should have asked Bill Guerin.
Well, exactly. But we've been around enough coaches in our life. I'm just sitting back, kind of chuckling in the back row of this news conference. And he finally goes, look, these are extremely difficult decisions. He was getting pissed. I'm like, and this is the USA where nobody cares. What do you think John Cooper's going through? Which, by the way, he doesn't show any sign of pressure at all. That's just Coop. But I'm just saying, I saw this with Mike Sullivan, and I kind of sat back and I'm like, yeah, you know what? The media, the fans, they think this is like putting together a fantasy roster on Sunday for DraftKings. It's not. Like Adam Fox is on the Rangers roster. Mike Sullivan had to say, by the way, you're not coming to Italy, but I need you to play real well tonight against the Panthers. Like it's you know what it's like. You've been in the rooms. It's egos, it's personalities, it's highly delicate, plus the pressure. Because if you win, you're literally golden forever. You lose, you're a loser, right? Like the pressure I don't think people understand. And I'm just very grateful to have been in the room to see it firsthand. And that's from the USA coach. Like John Cooper, for instance, Dick, I see Rishags seems to be up his ass about the closed practices and stuff. And I'm like, guys, I know you want to be in there, but maybe Coop doesn't want his lines out. It's kind of a big deal,
the lines to me they're going to change so much. And Armstrong said this morning that was a one-off about the closed practice. I mean, the practices are 15, 20 minutes. I don't think that it's that big of a deal to have one closed practice. So, and Mark Spector was on yesterday. He was talking about it. Why do they do it? Are we football? To me, it's not that big of a deal, to be honest with you.
Oh, I don't have a problem with it at all. When the Rough Riders closed practices back in the day, I'm good. I can go for lunch finally. Jesus, I don't even want to be here. But everybody was so mad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, same thing back in the day with the Eskimos. I mean, they never closed them, but you couldn't report on anything that you saw. Phones away, cameras away, whatever.
Oh, that too. But you know what Bob Hughes said? Legendary writer in Regina. He goes, they close practices. They should close the games.
That was remember that was during the reign of error.
Yeah, exactly. All this business about closing practices. They should close the games.
That's such a good line. Yeah, because Bob Hughes, he was the editor and head columnist at the Leader Post for so long. You read him every day. I read him every day. And that's what he started the Riders when they were that bad team for a dozen years. It started out the reign of error, then won. Then it got the Roman numerals X11. That's how bad it was, remember?
Oh, yeah, well, absolutely. And it's, I miss those guys, but, this is a topic for another day. Man, is this going fast with you and me today? But we don't see those crusty writers anymore. And it's too bad because we used to just rip open the newspaper to see what they had to say that day. But now, you just don't see it anywhere. Like I was talking to a Texas radio guy the other day about how come the Cowboys aren't getting roasted? Because that's my team, as you know, for DeMarcus Lawrence leaving Dallas because he said he'd never win there. And the first year out in Seattle, he wins the Super Bowl. And he goes, they're all afraid of Jerry. The reporters are all afraid of the Cowboys. It sucks, but you can't criticize them anymore. Or you're out.
Hey, do you think the Panthers can get it in gear and make the playoffs here?
Well, if I was them, I would fold the tent and trade whatever. Like, I know you want to take your victory lap now and say they're going to miss the playoffs. Like, you could foresee all the man game injuries they were going to lose going into the year. Is that why you said they're going to miss the playoffs?
No, I said they played so much hockey, and this is before Barkov was down even for me when I said that, and that was at the start of the year. But we knew Tkachuk was going to miss half the year. But I just felt that there was so much, and they're getting older, and they lost some guys. I just felt that, there were some other teams that would be coming up. And I just felt, and they still could come back. They're 8 points out, but I just think there's so many miles on so many key players there. That's kind of where I was at with.
Well, what worries me is the way they're talking. Like Matthew Tkachuk, the last game goes, "We're in big trouble." I was standing right beside him. I'm like, well, if you don't believe, why would I? You know what I mean? So I think he was just tired, and that's the scary thing is some guys are getting a rest with this Olympic break, but half the Panthers are not. They're all at the Olympics. So it's not like they're getting a big break here. That's not a good thing. But Bob will get a rest, which is good. But yeah, I don't think I can't see them making the playoffs for a lot of reasons. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that they know what it takes to get there. And once they get there, nobody's going to want to play them in the first round. I can tell you that. So,
well, it's not like they want the rest. I mean, what's the line? Kevin Lowe said it in Boys on the Bus. He goes, once you're in the Stanley Cup every year and win it, you think you own it. And that's kind of where the Panthers are. So they're not going to quit. But if I'm Bill Zito, I'm like, maybe we just, because at some point you got to make that decision. We've all seen it. Maybe it's not our year. Whether they, the fans don't want them to do anything. They don't want them to buy nor sell. Let's just see what we have. We'll see what they do.
Normie, as always, great catching up with you. We had a text said, where did I got to read it here. Just came in. Is Rod living at Del Boca Vista?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
You know what that's from, eh, Normie?
Steinfeld, of course. Are you kidding me? I quote that show every day.
That's Frank Costanza.
Well, you got to keep us out of Florida? We're moving in.
I got to leave on one question. Okay, first of all, I can't ask you the question, but if your memory is good enough that you can remember back to our Prince Albert days, where a mutual friend of ours, Joni Nicolo, who was in the broadcasting business as well.
You used to date her.
Yeah, I did actually. Anyway, she asked you a particular question that I can't repeat on air. Now, I'm wondering if you can remember that question. And if you do you remember your answer?
She asked me a lot of questions. You're going to have to be more specific. Can you give me a hint?
It's your best line ever that you had. And I mean, it had us rolling on the floor of Diggers for hours on end. So I can't ask you the question, but I thought maybe if you knew where I was going with it that you might be able to get the answer. So I guess
I was drinking a lot back then, Dick.
we all were. Hey, remember Bobby Crouch had that? He was on staff prices at Diggers, and he never bought anybody a drink, and he got staff prices at $2 for a Ryan Coke, and his bar tab that night was $114
in 1992.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. Please text me because I don't remember the question.
Yeah, I will. And once I text it to you, you're gonna be rolling. You might laugh so hard you'll roll into that pool behind you, Normie.
Come on out by the pool.
Thanks, big guy. We'll talk soon.
Good seeing you. Yep.
Yeah, good seeing you too, pal. Rod Peterson from the Rod Peterson Show down in FLA. It's on the Game Network channel here, 2:30. He said. So I get to see it every once in a while in the garage on replay because his show starts at 10 o'clock our time, runs till 12. And then I believe it's 2 to 4, the replay. But a barrel of monkeys, we used to live together in Prince Albert 35 years ago. Man, we had a lot of fun. That was the Puck Report brought to you by Fountain Tire. And again, we focus on one thing. It's your vehicle. Check them out at fountaintire.com to book your appointment today. I can't wait to text him the answer or the question to the answer. And he'll probably figure it out immediately. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts. We've also got Zach Daly from the McEwen men's hockey team, head coach of the McEwen's men's team. And man, oh man, for how many years did we talk about, and, before the show even started 2.5 years ago, how long is it going to take for the McEwen Griffins men's hockey program to possibly, and I don't think we ever even said to get level with the Alberta Golden Bears. Well, to be honest with you right now, the Griffins and the Bears are level. And you know what? Some might think the Griffins are slightly ahead of the Bears right now. That's going to be a good conversation coming up with Zach in the 10 o'clock hour. It's a Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Free trips, free iPads, a barbecue, a wood stove, the #1 dealer in the world. What? Who cares? How about no pressure, a great deal, finance rates as low as 0%, trade values you can be happy with, and an indoor showroom. And we're pretty good people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Get ready to love your home, Canada. The Brick has the styles and the savings to make you fall head over heels. Save $1,100 on couches made for cuddling. Enjoy a romantic meal in the dining set up to 25% off. And yes, save 25% off in the bedroom, too. Plus, score up to $1,500 off the TV of your dreams. Love is in the air, and so are the savings. Only at the Brick. Some exclusions apply. Check out the Brick in South Common, West End Mall, Northside, and downtown.
It's Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
For the first time in 66 years, Golden Bears and Pandas hockey are on the move. During the 2026-27 Canada West season, two of the most successful hockey programs in U Sports history will call Silent Ice Center in Nisku their temporary home. The Golden Bears and Pandas are excited to connect with the South Edmonton community and welcome new fans to experience the tradition and excitement of U of A hockey. Same tradition, New temporary home, Golden Bears and Pandas hockey at Silent Ice Center for the 26-27 season.
Winter in Alberta doesn't mess around.
And neither does Titan Supply.
For over 50 years, we've earned the trust of our customers across a variety of industries.
Because we lead with integrity,
honesty,
and respect.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Brent from Titan Supply. When the weather hits hard,
we're fully stocked with rigging, lifting, and hauling gear that works as hard as you do.
Titan Supply.
Built on trust, driven by safety.
Serving Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary.
Let us help you face the weather the Titan way.
Visit TitanSupply.ca.
What's some non-Nissan drivers here?
Nightmarish flurries out of the northwest today, looking like a horror movie.
What Nissan drivers here?
It's a glorious day out there.
Don't fear the forecast. Get a Nissan Kicks-S all-wheel drive for $398 monthly at 2.9% with $0 down. Built, tested, and trusted to conquer Canada's harsh winters. Visit your local Nissan dealer today or Nissan.ca for details. 60 months, conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Let's do it.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 9:45 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you here on a Wednesday morning. So glad that you were able to spend some time with us. Good catching up with old buddy Rod Peterson down in FLA, Storm and Norman. We had a lot of good laughs and good fun over the years. We actually had a text just come in from IMAC. Yeah, IMAC says, hey, you guys should raffle beers, not a dinner with you and that guy. Love to just sit and listen to the stories and shenanigans. For sure. I mean, the thing I'm probably more even prouder of Rod, he's now 10 years sober. He just recently went into his 10 years of sobriety. And, again, he ripped it up just as much as anybody, I can tell you that. And he had to get into a better place. And you know what? I'm so proud of him for that. So 10 years of sobriety for Rod, and good on him for that, for sure. The rig text in. I was at MRC the same time as you guys were, KK. Wow, that was, again, it was 89-90, and I left a little bit earlier. Normie continued on for his next year. How about that, though, Duke? I didn't even remember about him taking the test from the year prior, and every question was the same. 100%. So I would have got 100%. Can you believe it?
Well, maybe yours just had the correct answers written over in red pen. And as a result, then Rod was able to get a Hundy P.
No, I would have got the test the year prior from someone else, Duke.
Oh, just passed down.
Yeah, so
hey, that's not unfamiliar territory for me as a member of the University of Alberta Agriculture Club. Now, I was in a different faculty than the vast majority of my peers in that club, but they literally had a filing cabinet in the Ag Club office that was just old tests, old assignments, old papers that were there for the taking. And a lot of those professors, that they were pretty keen on, even if it wasn't every year, maybe every second or third year, recycling some of the questions, the test, etc. So a lot of Aggies were very grateful and thankful for the previous generation and getting them through their 4-year bachelor's
Do you remember
degree.
what that test was at all, or?
Take your pick of any class, any test. Like, because in the ag faculty, and there are deviations, but essentially you're talking, most of the people I encountered, like you were a crop science major, you're an animal science major, and those two divisions, you took the same general standard mandatory classes for your program, right? And so the animal science kids and the crop science kids, they was like, all right, here's the filing cabinet with all these tests. Here's the filing cabinet with all these tests.
Right.
And so many of them were recycled. And I was lucky because I took a couple econ classes. Like there was a land resources and economics class. There's an exact same class with a different name in the ag faculty. So one time I got to reap the benefit of the test bank.
Did they ever have capitals for
world capitals? No.
No.
If that was a university class, I would have had a 4.0.
What was did you have was it a legitimate GPA that you had at the end of it, or?
At the U of A, yeah, I was like a 2.9 student.
What's that?
A 2.0. I was like, a 3 would be a B. It's like a B minus, I guess. Closer to a B minus than a B.
And with all the partying.
Well, I mean, listen, I not try to sound too braggadocious. Like, I'm a pretty smart guy.
Oh, I know you are.
And so, and taking in the Faculty of Arts, economics, my standard classes were difficult. A lot of them, the higher level econ classes, but all my electives. I mean, I took history of music. I took some other history.
Come on, history of music.
Oh yeah, it was like history of popular music. So it was like the beginning of popular music all the way through to present day when we're talking Taylor Swift and stuff like that, about like what makes it popular, what artists changed what popular music meant. It was very interesting. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, some classes like that were a little on the easier side.
So you could have been a Swiftie.
I could have been. I wasn't, but I could have been.
I guess we just went a little long on that conversation to start up with in or out, Duke. Should we do it at the top of the hour?
Your call. There's just the two of us, but if we want to push the top of the hour, that's fine.
Well, I mean, we can do it at the top of the hour, and then we've got Zach Daly coming up at 10:20. So why don't we do that? We'll just shoot the breeze here. Hey, you know what? And I heard you're in the one update talking about the NBA last night, because I was just crawling into the fart sack again at the time of the Spurs and the Lakers game. But actually, I watched it at I watched the very beginning of the game.
Well, Wemby in the first quarter was unconscious.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring in Josh Fenwick here too. But when I watched the very beginning of the game, the best part of it all, because it was in LA, and I can't remember the two Laker guys that are doing play-by-play in color in LA that were on the game. Maybe Fenny knows who it is. But
nationally broadcast, right?
I don't know. It might have been a local game. I think it was a local game. But anyway, so the two of them start off and go, well, it's going to be a tough one tonight. All 5 Laker starters are not in the lineup. And they ran down all the average points, blah, blah, blah. Basically, we're leaving 100 points on the board today. And then they ran down the fact that everyone on the Spurs are going to be playing. And then Wemby had, I believe, was it 37 in the first half? That's the highest number this year of any player in the NBA.
37 in the first half. He finished the game with 40 points.
Yeah. Is that what it was?
He finished the game with 40 points in 8 minutes of action. He had 25 points, was 8 of 9 from the field and 3 of 4 from 3 in 8 minutes.
So they won 136-108, and it was 80 to 83-50. No, was it 80 to 53 at halftime, something like that?
I can double check.
Because that's at the point where I was like, okay, what's going on here? And then I thought, well, are they going to let this guy, are they going to cut him loose in the second half? And maybe can he put up, 70, 75? Because, that's kind of where he was on pace for.
Tough deal with the minutes restriction, though.
Oh, 100%. But I was like, could you imagine if they really...
84-55 was the halftime score.
84-55. Okay, so I was thinking, what if they let this guy go here? Let him rip it up. Could they put up 150 on and that was the most points the Lakers have ever allowed at halftime in team history.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know who had the most points for the Los Angeles Lakers?
Luke Kennard with 14.
Yeah. Unreal. Luke Kennard, you dog.
Yeah.
Wemby's an alien. Witnessing greatness. I had to go back. I had to wait for the game to be over because I only have Sportsnet Plus.
Right.
And then I had to go back and watch the highlights of everything because I was like, there's no way this is real.
Mm-hmm.
My phone blows up. 37 at half. Damn.
Yeah. Because what happened, I looked at the TV listings on the, the old remote control, and it said something else. But when I turned it to whatever that channel was, the Knicks and Pacers were playing overtime. And the Knicks actually lost that game 137-134 to the Pacers. Siakam had 30 and Brunson had 40 for the Knicks. So I was kind of thinking, we were talking about the Knicks and where they are. Could they catch Detroit? I don't think it's possible now at all. And the Knicks have fallen off, I think, in the East. So what else caught your eye in the NBA last night there, Fanny?
Lakers, not Lakers. Oh my God, we were just talking about that. I caught bits and pieces of the Houston Clippers game.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty fun. Like Kawhi is still one of my favorite players to watch. Just back from when I started, him being on the Raptors, I always like watching him.
Yeah.
They end up losing 102-95, but that's really the only thing I really got to pay attention to. Cooper Flagg last night, though, had a monster jam over Dylan Brooks. And just scrolling through Twitter later last night, I was like, okay, everyone else is coming around to being a Cooper Flagg guy. Maybe it's time that I buy a little bit of stock in him.
Wow. Text 833-401. 1440. The Rig was saying he was on the hockey team with old Pumpkinhead, they called him, Rig? Dave Clement. In 87, 88, 88, 89. National champs, I must say, he goes. Am I correct, Rig? Maybe just send a note. That was Dave Clement, old Pumpkinhead. Because at the time, the guy across the street was Ken Babby. And he was a different kind of cat. For sure. Hammer says, sounds like talking to my wife. I can't ask the question, but you should know the answer. And I did text Norm Peterson. As soon as I texted him the question, he answered immediately with the correct answer. Tied 1-1, Slovakia, Finland, halfway through second period. Didn't catch the Finland goal scorer, Duke. Did you? Shots on goal right now, 25-13 for Finland. And for some reason I don't have that.
Yeah, I missed it. And I'll say this: credit to the Canadian Olympic team website, Olympic.ca.
Yeah.
Very good for live updates on timed runs and stuff like that. It's not exactly like you're getting a live box score for these hockey.
I can find it. It was Eli Tolvanen.
Oh,
he scored. And you know what's funny, Duke? If you go into that website you told me about, the Olympic.ca/schedule.
Yes.
So if you pump it on there and go to the schedule, now hit ice hockey match stats, and then you got to work around it.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it
there
here.
You go.
I am. Look at that.
Look at that. How about me navigating?
Look at you go, Kev. Look at you go. That's that college education at MRC.
Sure. MRC.
Hard at work.
Big technology guy, Kevin Karius.
The Rig and I together again. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to go in or out with the Duke of Delburne. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding, awswelding.ca. Here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Canadians in action this morning at the Olympics from Italy. The women's moguls finals. Maya Schwinghammer finishing 6th overall, while Lorianne, Desmarais Gilbert, Ashley Kohler, and Jessica Linton all qualified for the final, did not advance to the second run. In the men's Super G Alpine skiing, James Crawford, Cameron Alexander, and Brody Seeger finished 16th, 17th, and 22nd, respectively. Women's snowboard halfpipe, Elizabeth Hosking qualified for the final, while Felicity Germania and Brooke Dehome did not. Currently, men's and women's double luge events underway with a Canadian tandem in each field. Still to come, the men's 1,000-meter speed skating final. That'll feature Anders Johnson, David Leroux, and Laurent Debreu. Brad Jacobson, his men's rink, kick off their curling schedule at 11 o'clock against Germany, and the mixed ice dance free dance program starting at 11:30 with 3 Canadian pairs competing for a medal. Outside of the Canadian field, men's hockey underway. Finland currently playing Slovakia, tied at 1 in the second period. Sweden will take on Italy just after 1 o'clock. On the hardwood tonight, full slate of 14 games, including the Toronto Raptors at home against the first-place Pistons. Tip-off at 5:30. Elsewhere, Magic hosting the Bucks. Knicks are in Philly. Boston taking on Chicago, and the Thunder play the Suns from Phoenix. Another MLB season is near. Pitchers and catchers officially reporting to team facilities today, including the Toronto Blue Jays congregating in Dunedin, Florida. Coming up in hour 4 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll check in with a new edition of In or Out and be joined by McEwen Griffins men's hockey head coach, Zach Daly. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station.
CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Made for some rough roads, but it means trails are now packed and ready for action. Don't miss out on riding adventures this winter with a Ski-Doo from Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. Work or play with new 2026 Generation 5 models with class-leading design and power. And right now, take advantage of 5.99% financing OAC. Only at Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. 15 Inglewood Drive in St. Albert. And always at riversidehonda.com. Shop local, shop Canadian.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
At Cougar Paint and Collision, family incorporates everyone.
I mean, the staff at Cougar are the cogs in the wheel. If you've got one or two wheels that aren't rolling with the other one, then you're not going to have a smooth operation. Everybody that we have at the shop really enables us to continue to help Edmontonians. We just try and help people get their cars back on the road, and it's the people that work for you that are going to allow you to be successful.
Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family.
Whoa, I gotta put some money on the game tonight. We hit our monthly budget. Whoa, how did you get in here? I'm you, the responsible you. We're right. We'll play another time. Sounds more like us.
If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
Invest for today and tomorrow. Vision Credit Union makes it simple with 2 RRSP options to fit your goals. Choose a secure term deposit RRSP with guaranteed returns or a mutual fund RRSP offering higher growth potential with exciting opportunities. With an RRSP, you'll save on your income tax, grow your investments tax-free, and get closer to your dreams, whether it's retirement or your first home. The deadline to qualify for 2025 tax deductions is March 2nd. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
The Karius Show, breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams, even though his favorite Junior A hockey team is the Yorkton Terriers. Thanks for checking in with Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10 o'clock in Edmonton. The first men's Olympic hockey game is well underway. Finland and Slovakia so far tied at 1. And boy, just a bone-crushing hit by Eli Tolvanen. 27-14 shots. Tolvanen just a ripper. He has the goal for Finland right now, so tied at 1. Time now for Are You In or Out?
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke, let her buck. But before that, Marty Stevens just texted me and said, hey, buddy, need your hoodie size. Critters hoodies being ordered.
New hoodie order. I'm pumped.
And I've just got to put it in here. Did you get boys husky size or what did you
I
get?
got the smallest one possible so then I can look buff when I'm getting off the bus.
You're kidding me. Are you
No,
serious?
I got a large.
Large?
Yeah.
Okay, let me look. Large measurement says chest 50 inches.
I don't know what that means.
Body length 29 and a half inches.
I'm just kind of a large guy at this point in my life.
50-inch chest by the Duke.
I'm very broad, Kevin. Very stout.
I think a large
it might hang a little long on me down around the waist, perhaps, and in the sleeves. But a lot of the time with my hoodies, I'm pulling the sleeves up around my forearms anyway.
Yeah.
As I'm got right now with this nice Rafter 4T Farms hoodie, courtesy of the Big Cebolla out by Harry Hill.
Oh, come on now. Yeah, I better put in. What would I be, Duke? Probably XL.
Probably
XL.
What did Gregor say to you that time when we were ordering the T-shirts from 170?
Yeah, I said
and you said something. It was like, Kevin, there's no way you need that big with those salmon shoulders ears.
I said double XL or something. Time now for in or out, letter buck, Duke.
The men's hockey tournament. It is underway with the Slovakia taking on Finland as we speak. Listen, we know this field. It is going to be a top heavy, of course. Canada, the United States, and the other two top-rated nations, Finland and Sweden, the highest odds for medal contention. The number one necessary ingredient, if you're a lower-rated team looking to compete with the big dogs, it is quite simply a goalie playing out of his mind.
I'm in 100%, Duke. I'm also going to take it a step further.
Okay.
I'm not even going to say a lower-rated team.
Any team.
Any team.
Well,
I mean,
and see, that's where I sort of disagree.
Okay, well, think about this. If Binsey doesn't stand on his head in the gold medal game at the Four Nations, does Canada win the Four Nations final gold medal game?
So Binnington played well in the gold medal game.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
He came up with a couple very big stops in the moments that were most important. Is that standing on your head? And by my classification, it isn't.
See, to me, I think that is.
I'm talking about these teams that are going to get outshot maybe by a margin of near 2-1, and the goalie only gives up 1 or 2.
I see where you're coming from. So I'm in on this one, but I'm also saying, like, if Canada gets to the semifinals gold medal game, they're going to get to the semis. If they get to the gold medal game and whoever's in goal doesn't stand on his head, they're not winning.
Yeah, I think Canada and the United States
out of his mind.
can win with average goaltending. I think the rest of the team is that good. But if we're talking the Czechs, we're talking the Slovaks, we're going to get to the Germans here in a moment. Take your pick of another upstart team, maybe the Swiss, who I know we talked about it yesterday. You're not in a line of thinking with our buddy Stephen Ellis from DFO and their 38-year-old goalie who has performed well internationally. If you're not getting the stalwart performances from those guys in the crease, you don't stand a prayer.
We're on the same page here. I just think it has to continue on to even the top.
Which is fair. Is fair. I'm not sure I'm in the same line of thought. But we'll take all of what we just said into consideration. And the team best suited to pull off a Cinderella run, I actually think it's Germany, and not a team that I think is most popular answer in the Czech Republic.
I'm out. I'm still high on the Czechs here. And so you're saying the top 4 teams are Canada, US, Sweden, and Finland.
Yes.
Okay. So you're saying that the 5th best team you like is Germany?
I think so. Okay. And I should maybe try and clarify. So I really like the Czech team. I do. Yeah. Top to bottom. But if we're talking about a team that could catch a little magic in the hat and get through to a semifinal game, chance to pull off an upset there and play for gold, the reasoning here for me is the personnel that the Germans can have. They do know how to have as deep of a roster and overall talent as the Czechs, but you're talking about real difference makers at the key positions. You have Leon Draisaitl. Just chatted about it with Spec at 8 o'clock. He's the best captain, and if that's a weird qualifier, I suppose, for Spec to use. But there's argument that he's the best player in this tournament, not named Connor McDavid. Nate McKinnon, right there, of course, as well. The back end, Mo Seider. This guy might be playing 40 minutes a game. Does that eventually wear on him? Probably. But if the adrenaline and the motivation and emotion carries through, and also for Draisaitl up front, he's flanked by a guy like Tim Stützle, JJ Peterka. They have other quality players, and then it's going to come down to if Philip Grubauer can hold the fort in the net.
That's where my concern is, Duke. That's why I like Czech.
Okay, because the Czechs, if maybe they've got 3 good goaltending options. We discussed it pretty lengthy yesterday. If one of them maybe falters ever so slightly, it's not like they're turning to a guy we've never heard of before.
Yeah, and I mean, I see where you're coming from here, but I'm going to go out and to me, Czech is number 5 right now, and I would even hazard. I'm scared of. I wouldn't want to play Czech in the semifinals. How's that sound? They could do something in the semifinals.
The Czech defense group doesn't worry you at all.
It does, but I mean, so does the Canadian defense group.
Yeah, but come on, we're talking apples and oranges here,
I
Kevin.
know we are, Duke.
The Czech defense.
The expectations
had 2 NHLers on it,
but the expectations for the Czechs here, Duke. No one's even saying that they're a medal team.
I think a lot of people like them to challenge for a medal.
Okay.
And I like them to challenge for a medal. I'm just not sure that they'll have the horses.
I'll tell you what, when you use the term and the phrase Cinderella run, Germany's more of a Cinderella team to me than the Czechs.
I would agree.
I can give you
but
that.
if we're expanding the classification to any of the outside of the top four that we expect to be playing in the gold and bronze medal games, I think the Czechs would still qualify.
Too bad Russia ain't in here, man. Hey,
I listen. We've had texts about it going back for how long now, going all the way to the Four Nations. I get it. I understand it. But if we're talking true best on best, the Russians would have an unbelievable team at this tournament.
Wicked.
They'd be pretty shy on defense too. Don't get me wrong. But to see guys like Kucherov, Bobrovsky, Ovechkin, another go at the Olympics, I think would be pretty cool. So moving on to the world of football. It's the NFL offseason, but it's never really the offseason, is it? The Seattle Seahawks, they have their Super Bowl parade today and still waiting with bated breath the chance of getting a player before the parade on this program before we wrap up at 11 o'clock, Kevin.
Okay.
We'll wait for that. Our buddy Brad is working diligently on it. But Sam Darnold and Kenneth Walker spent the last day or two at Disneyland. We get the videos of them riding the teacups. They're on the float in the parade. Maybe this will be different if we're talking about maybe someone like Matt Stafford, who's got the whole gaggle of kids and all that jazz. I think that this is probably a drag for Sam Darnold and Kenneth Walker rather than a fun, rewarding experience.
Oh, come on, Duke. This goes back to your interrupt
Yeah,
question from
yeah.
months ago about adults not being
Kevin,
able to go to Disneyland
you
and not
just won
enjoying it.
You just won a championship. You're world champions. USA undefeated, world champions in the NFL. You would rather go to Disneyland for 2 days than spend that time with your teammates, your friends, and doing whatever you want with a little less focus on you as an individual.
Needed the cash, man. You saw it, Duke.
Oh,
they paid $250,000 in taxes to the state of California.
Yeah,
instead of getting the 180 back for their Super Bowl bonus.
That's a little tough.
That is unreal.
Tough. And yes, I'm sure they were compensated pretty handsomely for this endeavor, but still, I mean, you're an NFL player. You're not exactly hard up for money.
No. I'm out. The greatest place on earth.
Well, it's the happiest place on earth.
Happiest, whatever.
You don't even know what it's called.
Yeah, well, I can tell you one thing. It's the most expensive place on earth too, Duke.
Yeah. I mean,
if you want to go
do you think Sam Darnold and Kenneth Walker got the fast pass or whatever they call that?
Yeah, well, yeah, they kind of changed it around. Murray McCourt was down at Universal, my buddy Murray, and he said that they went for the three of them. It was $2,000 American to get the updated pass for the day. So
Really?
$600 ahead.
Wow.
So 1,800. So 2,200 Canadian or whatever.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take that into consideration. Say my ambition or desire to head to one of these themed parks.
You just stand in line, Duke. You get a couple beers.
Yeah, I'll
and stand in line.
in line. And then by the time I get there, it's like I'm going to whiz myself while I'm going on the roller coaster. That seems like a really positive outcome. Number 4 today, pitchers and catchers reporting. Blue Jays included down in Florida. Injury news coming out for the Jays. Some troubling information about Shane Bieber, Bowden Francis, and then, of course, last offseason's big price free agency, Anthony Santander. 5 to 6 months going to be out. He's going to undergo shoulder surgery. These injuries should have been apparent. We should have seen this coming when you assess the team's off-season maneuverings.
So you're talking about basically
what the Jays did, what they were reportedly in on doing, even if it didn't come to fruition.
Like even a guy like Tucker and things like that, you're saying?
Yeah. Like we look at who the Jays added.
Yeah.
Each time you're like, all right, okay, they added pitching when it seemed like they already had a pretty good
Ponce,
rotation.
for instance, Ponce. Yeah.
Ponce, the being in on Tucker, even the and I don't have his name in front of me. I don't want to butcher it. Okamoto, the Japanese third baseman. Like they needed more bodies to play in the starting lineup, especially when it became more apparent that Bo Bichette would not be returning.
So you could say with Santander, you know, they're probably a body short, really, you know, as far as
everyday players.
Well, yeah, because Lucas was the guy that was coming out, right? You know, Lucas was, you know, with Santander.
What was the guy pushed out?
You know, that's right. I'm saying coming out. So, you know, Barger's was in there. Barger's going to be your everyday guy. in one of the field positions, likely right. And if Santander felt more comfortable, Barger was going to move to left. But I'm in with you on this one too and I'm worried about Bieber. Like I'm worried about Bieber not being able to throw much at all this year. I don't think this is just so many red flags for me. That's why Ponce and then Cease, as you said, the two guys that they signed, they still have Barrios and they still have Eric Lauer.
And to me, the Barrios thing really stands out too, that after the little bit of fallout and not being happy after being a very good soldier, and reliable one, effectiveness ranged at times, but after the not being on the World Series roster and his discontent, it kind of seemed like, all right, do you move on from this asset and try and recoup something? No, they held fast, saying they knew internally we're going to need him to pitch for us in the rotation.
So, basically what you're doing here and I'm talking about the regular season, not the playoffs here. The move that you've made here when you look at your regular season roster is basically Okamoto for Bichette. That's the change in the lineup. So you have to hope that Okamoto can come in here and give you, if he can give you 75% of Bo Bichette, are you happy with that, Duke? I mean, Bo Bichette had the most hits in the league.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So they're a little bit light because of that happening with the injuries here, but I still like the lineup. I like the pitching. I like the depth, but I'm in with your question.
Finally, this day, 1936, the late, great Burt Reynolds was born. An excellent collected works spanning several decades, several different types of roles. And last Critters game, we watched a Burt Reynolds movie, Smokey and the Bandit.
What?
One of Jewel Stevens' favorites.
Why is it her favorite? And she texted in earlier.
I think she just loves Burt Reynolds because last year, maybe the year before, we watched Cannonball Run. I'd never seen that before, and I was blown away. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. But I'm not taking either of those two for his best role.
Best role.
I'm going with Gator McCluskey. White Lightning.
White Lightning?
White Lightning and Gator.
White Lightning. I don't know. I'm probably out on this one. I liked all the ones that you guys have been watching there on the bus.
Those are pretty good.
Smokey and the Bandit.
See, I've never seen any of the sequels either. I've only seen the original Smokey and the Bandit and the first Cannonball Run. There was a number 2.
Did you ever watch Deliverance, Duke?
Not in its entirety. I've seen parts of it, but I have not seen all of it.
What about Boogie Nights?
Yep.
Yeah, you
pretty
watched
good.
that one?
That's a good one.
Was he in Striptease too or not?
Josh is nodding yes.
Yeah?
Our in-house cinephile.
That's one of your favorite movies, eh, Josh? Striptease with Demi Moore?
No.
Why not?
I've never seen it, but I've seen Burt Reynolds' IMDb page enough.
Yeah.
I really like Boogie Nights. However, when you say Burt Reynolds, my mind goes Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, probably for me.
So I'm out.
I don't even think, and having just rewatched it for the first time in many years last week, I think I like Cannonball Run more than Smokey and the Bandit.
I saw Longest Yard the other day, Duke.
The original?
Yeah, the original. Not for the whole movie. I just flicked through the channels.
Okay.
I like that one, obviously. Sham just texted in on that one. Gator, Gruff just texted in. Sharky's Machine, one of my favorite movies for Burt Reynolds, too. I always remember they were playing the knife game. They put the guy's hand out, and you had to put the knife and go in between the fingers.
Right.
And then there was one guy that missed it. And next thing you know, I think it might have been Burt Reynolds. Maybe his fingers came off. But yeah, what was it in, remember Ed with Matthew McConaughey? And he's working at the video store. And those kids come in and they're looking for a video. And he goes, "This is Bertrand Leon Reynolds." Get the hell out of here. You don't even know what you're talking about. Give me that movie back. Good stuff, Duke. Good stuff. Huss Steven says Deliverance for sure. Ooh, scary. That banjo picking inbred guy there. Ooh, scary guy there. Penny, have you seen Deliverance?
No, I don't think I have, actually.
It's a pretty scary movie, man.
I believe you.
Yeah. Well, it's not scary.
I'll go check it out.
It's scary in the sense that it's probably that happens on a daily basis in the backwoods of wherever they were. When we come back, Zach Daly, McEwen men's hockey head coach on the Kevin Carey Show at the Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
At Cougar Paint and Collision, their family-first approach makes you feel like part of the clan.
We care about the shop because it's our name on the sign. And when you own a business, that is so important to remember that everyone you're dealing with is a human being and they're going through something, whether you see it or not. What will make people choose you is how they feel when they leave your shop. People need to feel important. They need to feel heard. I think that sets us apart. It's really, really important.
Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59.9. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save on Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save on Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
If I had $46,000, I'd buy a robot butler and a trampoline. And maybe a trampoline for the robot butler.
You might have a few ideas of your own. The first early bird deadline for the Big Brothers Big Sisters Dream Home Lottery is February 11th. Get your tickets now for a chance to win $46,000 and support kids across Edmonton. Buy today at bigbrothersdreamhome.org. Lottery license number 745563 and 745562. Tickets sold only within Alberta.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 10:20 in Edmonton. Time to talk a little university hockey because it's a big set coming up this weekend between the Alberta Golden Bears and the McEwen Griffins men's hockey teams, home and home. Friday at Claire Drake Arena, Saturday at the Downtown Community Arena, and excited to welcome in Zach Daly back to the show. Good morning, Zach. You're with Kevin Karius. Welcome to Sports 1440 once again. Thanks for jumping on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for having me, Kevin.
So, man, this is a season that you got to be pretty happy with. Before we get to this weekend's home and home with the Golden Bears, just maybe touch on, since the last time we talked with you, Zach, in the sense of where you were at that time a few months ago and where you are as a team right now heading into this big set with the Golden Bears.
Yeah, I think we've made some good improvements for the group. We had a meeting at Christmas and, touched on some areas we wanted to improve on. And that's been our focus in, the second half here. And I think we've done a pretty darn good job of getting better in those areas. And so we're happy with where our game's at right now.
How did your roster work as far as the season progressed? I know so many teams have players coming in maybe at the Christmas break. Did you do some additions, subtractions? How'd that work for you, Zach?
There's a couple guys we were talking to from pro. Ultimately, they decided to stay. So we had no changes with our roster, which is fine. You're always looking to get a tiny bit better, but we're very confident with the group that we have here.
Mm-hmm. Zach Daly, McEwen men's hockey head coach, with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. So basically, this weekend is a battle for second place. How excited are you to have this home and home again, Friday at Claire Drake and then Saturday in your barn at the DCA here, Zach.
Yeah, we're very excited. Great opportunity for our group. Being rewarded for playing well, and it's great to be playing meaningful games at the end of the season. Even more exciting to play kind of a crosstown rival where a lot of guys know each other, and we're just excited for some really good hockey this weekend.
How would you say this rivalry has developed, not only this year, but maybe just in the last couple of years, Zach?
I just think anytime games are more competitive, it adds to the rivalry. I think, when we were first starting, games were quite lopsided. And so I think that now that they're a little bit closer, I think this year, 3 of the 4 games have gone to overtime. So it just adds a little bit more importance and a little bit tighter games and more stress and more pressure. So I think it's been a really good test for our group to try to, pass these guys and get on the same level as these guys.
It's been a journey for you guys. Maybe just speak to, since you got to the program here a few years ago and to where you've built it and being at the ability to compete with the other good teams that are in Canada West, because it's a tough conference. Everyone knows that, but it's taken a while to get here. How's that journey been for you?
It's been rewarding. It's frustrating, but rewarding. There's no quick fixes to being good, as everyone knows. You have to do things correctly. There's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of, taking, not beatings, but learning hard lessons, and a lot of belief. And so I have to credit the players a lot for just the belief in what we're trying to do and what we're trying to build. There's been a ton of buy-in even since day one. And so I'm really happy with where we're at, but it was a lot of hard work, a lot of belief, a lot of hard lessons. And it seems like we're finally starting to get rewarded for those.
Yeah. That word belief, Zach, isn't it such a huge word, and it's such a big part of the makeup of a hockey team, because if you don't have it, you're going nowhere. How do you, as a coach, when you are going through tough times that you mentioned, how do you know that I got the right guys that are going to pull through this and make sure that we can get to the other side, so to speak?
Yeah, great question. We talk at the start of the year, and I try to give the guys some ownership on how we want to play and what they think we need to do to be successful. A lot of times it aligns with what I'm thinking as well. And so I feel when you have ownership in something and you feel a part of it and you have a role, even when things get hard, you're still on board, you're still willing to go through the right things. And so what I've seen this year is we've gone through some hard times, but there's never been any quit. There's been times we've been down in third periods, or, the other weekend we were down against UBC 8-3 and guys were still throwing their bodies in front of pucks and cheering each other on. And so there's definitely been no quit in our group. And, we've gone through ups and downs this season as well. I've just been really impressed with the resiliency of our guys.
Again, such a key word too, their resiliency. Zach Daly, McEwen men's hockey head coach, with us on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. Maybe just if you can throw out a couple of names. I know Caden Shabbat's leading your team in scoring, having a good season. But if there's a couple of key players that have helped to take it to the level that you've wanted to see this year on your squad so far.
Yeah, there's a ton of people to shout out, but I think just our leadership group, guys that are in their 3rd and 4th years, our captain, Sam Smard, Vincent Scott, Brendan Boyle, Carter Chorney, Logan Doheniak. They've just done a great job of leading. They've been around. Their first year wasn't great. There wasn't a lot of winning going on, and a lot of those hard lessons, they went through. And so now they're kind of on the other side of that, and they just lead by example every day, and they exemplify what it means to be a Griffin. Show up, they're professional, they work hard in the gym, in the classroom, great students, out in the community volunteering their time. So we just have a bunch of really good leaders that show the young guys the way.
Yeah, I mean, that the core leadership group, that's so critical for any team. How do you handle that because they're almost like the go-between between yourself and the coaching staff and the rest of the squad. So how do you handle that aspect?
Yeah, it's been, quite easy, to be honest with you. I talked about, giving them ownership at the start of the year. I had a chat with Caden in the summertime, and I told him how important he was to our team offensively, but just overall. And so I asked him to, the defensive side of the puck need to get a little bit better. And this year he's leading Canada West in goals. He's our penalty killer. He's out the last minute to protect the lead. So anytime that your top player is doing everything correctly, it's very hard for other guys not to follow suit. But in terms of our leadership group, they're great kids. They just want to win, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to win. So it's been a great relationship with those guys. They make my life quite easy.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it goes, right? The best players always make the coach look good. All you got to do is open the gate, right, Zach?
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think it was Scotty Bowman. Someone said, well, what's it take to be a good coach? He said, well, just follow the good players coming off the bus. That's all you got to do, really.
That's what it's felt like a couple of games here where I got to sit back and enjoy the product that they're producing. So that's a really good feeling as a coach.
Yeah. Caden Chabot, I just kind of wanted to touch on him again. First time that Griffin's been Canada West Player of the Week 3 times this year. So maybe just what's he meant. And again, you talked about the goals and being the leading scorer in the team, but what's he meant as far as being a critical part of your squad?
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job. Again, leads by example. Really good kid, passionate, works extremely hard, physical. So anytime, again, when someone's scoring a bunch of goals, but they're doing all the little things, it's hard for anyone else not to follow suit. He's also someone that is willing to be coached. I can give him feedback, let him know when he's not doing good enough. And challenge him. And again, all his responses are positive. So seen a lot of growth with him, been really impressed with him. He's a leader on and off the ice for our group. And he's, getting some interest from some teams over in Europe as well. So I'm really proud of him. Very important piece. But again, his teammates do a great job of supporting him as well.
No kidding. Zach Daly with us, from the McEwen men's hockey head coach. They got a big home-and-home series this weekend with the Alberta Golden Bears, with second place and home ice on the line when it comes to the Canada West playoffs. Also Senior Day on the Saturday game for you, but you're only graduating the one player. Is that correct, if I'm seeing this correctly?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Brendan Boyle is graduating. He's been with the program for 4 years. He was in Prince George in the Western League and then finished in Okotoks. Great kid, been assistant captain for the last couple of years. Again, probably our hardest worker, in the best physical shape, does everything correctly, and he's a great teammate. So we'll miss him, but he's a big part of where we are today, just with his work ethic and commitment to doing things correctly.
How did you handle recruiting and everything? And there's been so much talk about, players with the NCAA portal, if you want to call it that, and the opportunities that are out there. How was that handled for you this year here, Zach?
Yeah, I mean, my players have made my job a little bit easier. Anytime that you're a little bit more successful, people want to come instead of you looking out. I always think that our athletes are the best recruiters as well. If there's someone that they've played with that they think would fit in with our group, I always encourage them to let me know and reach out. And so there's been a lot of that. But again, anytime you win, people want to come. So we're just trying to do our part on the ice, and hopefully that attracts good players.
Yeah. How's your goaltending been this year, Zach?
Yeah, it's been good. I've had a little bit of an issue. I have 3 guys that are capable of playing, so it makes my decisions a little bit harder, but that's their job. Their job is to make my decisions hard on who's going to help us play. But I think anytime they've been in, they've given us a chance to win hockey games. Yeah,
maybe just touch on that, how you've had to handle that, because, there's even in practice, you only got two goals, 2 nets. So how do you handle with 3 guys that are capable? Yeah, it's been tough. I'm sure that there's been some unhappy guys at times. But again, they get it. I've been, trying to be as honest as possible with how I think their games are. We actually just had Carson Ironside play his first game since October, and he played fantastic. And so, that's kind of the group I have. Guys, no matter if they're getting rewarded or not, show up to work, and they're professional and work hard. And when they get an opportunity, they're ready. And that's all you can ask for a coach. But our goalies have done a great job for us this year. And again, we're going to be dependent on them this weekend and headed into playoffs to give us a chance to win games. Maybe just touch on your coaching staff going into this big weekend series, how much they've meant to you and what they've done to help out, to help you put a good product on the ice.
Yeah. So this year, first year with me is Fran Gao.
Yeah.
He's coached for a long time and has a ton of experience. He's been great for me personally and for our group. Just a lot of insight, a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, and able to bounce ideas off him. And he gives me great perspective on some things I need to help with. And then also with our guys, he's just a guy that everyone likes and gets along with and helps our guys out that way. I have Nolan Yaremchuk with me, who's been with me the whole time. Guys love him. Fantastic person, brings a ton of energy. In the mornings, we practice early, and he's, getting the guys going. So he's such a helpful, positive person. He played for me as well. And so it's always great when you have someone who's been through the program that shows passion to stay with the program. It rubs off on our guys and makes them passionate about being in Griffin as well. And then Mooks is my goalie coach, Curtis Muka. Lots of experience, knows every goalie in the history of Edmonton. So he's very helpful in terms of recruiting and developing goaltenders. And then, I have a great support staff with Raven Beezers, my equipment manager, and Paul Trevor's athletic therapist. So just tons of help. A lot of people are just really passionate about being in McEwen Griffin and helping out with the team, and that rubs off on our players.
I just saw Curtis Muka at the Golden Bears game a couple of weeks ago. He was there on a Sunday when I was down there. Man, he's one of the up and coming goalie coaches, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think he's done a fantastic job. He was a great goaltender himself. But I think probably the best thing that people like is he's like always there for goalies. He might be the busiest guy I've ever met. He has goalies from all teams and all ages calling him at all times of the day and night to get some advice and get help. So not only is he doing a great job on the ice with instruction and technique, he does a great job of supporting them, which is, probably even a bigger part of goaltending than some of the technique stuff. So, he's doing a great job. I'm just waiting for the time he calls me and says he's moving somewhere else to be in pro and he can't help me out anymore. But definitely gonna enjoy his company and his leadership and knowledge while he's still here.
Yeah, and no kidding. I mean, he's just he's one of the best young goalie coaches. I shouldn't say he's young anymore because he's been around a long time. I used to cover him at the Golden Bears years ago. And then you mentioned Fran Gao. Holy smokes. It was back in when Fort McMurray was hosting. Back then it was the Centennial Cup still. Well, I think, no, it was the Royal Bank Cup, I guess it was. And that's like 25, 26 years ago, maybe even more than that, 98, 99, somewhere in there. So you're pretty lucky then, Zach, to have that wealth of knowledge to help you along here.
Oh yeah, extremely lucky. When I had a meeting with him in the summer and they said he was interested, I was, very excited about it. He's been just a great resource to have, and very fortunate to have him helping out.
So what do you make of this home and home, I guess, with the Alberta Golden Bears? And, every time we talk to Ian Herbers, I just, had a discussion with him. He mentions you obviously being a former Alberta Golden Bears, Zach, and how you've built this program here at McEwen. He's very impressed with what you've done, but this has turned into a really good rivalry, as you say, but maybe just touch on this home and home and the importance of it moving forward into the playoffs here.
Yeah, obviously the importance of home ice is huge, especially in youth sport, where all three games are played, at the home ice place. So that'd be great to get that. But again, we're focused on the process of everything. We've been playing some really good hockey lately. And we know that if we play our game, we'll give ourselves a good chance at winning. But like I said before, 3 of the 4 games have been overtime games and have been exciting. So I predict it's going to be, fast, aggressive, some fun hockey to watch. So I'm really excited. It's going to be a great test for our group. Just really excited for the challenge.
Zach, as always, thanks for checking in. Good luck on the weekend. The best of luck to you. Continued success at McEwen, and take care. We'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. That's Zach Daly, McEwen men's hockey head coach. It's a home and home with the Alberta Golden Bears this weekend. Friday at Clare Drake, 7 o'clock, puck drop. 5 o'clock on Saturday at the downtown community arena. And again, it is basically a playoff series this weekend. Whoever ends up in second place in the West will host the quarterfinal playoff series. The loser has to go on the road. You're just going across town. But again, the Bears are more familiar with those surroundings, and McEwen's loves playing at the downtown community arena. The Golden Bears would have to sweep the weekend series with no more than one of the games going to overtime here as well. So that's how things work this weekend. Duke, Friday night. I can't tell you. Well, I shouldn't say this because this has been in the works for a long time.
Oh, boy.
From the Easter Seals Celebrity Golf Tournament, I was auctioned off for a dinner.
Really?
It's this Friday night.
Oh, Kev.
At Normand's.
I guess I'll just have to represent the both of us as I was last weekend while you were still on holiday.
Yes.
And maybe Speck will be there again. This time he'll tell me he's going and we can.
At the lake, man. It's at the lake.
Oh, yeah. He's not going to come back in for some,
he's not coming back yet.
Friday night rivalry.
Not a chance. But having said that, the Saturday game, 5:00, this allows you to go to the game, but it also allows you to for your Saturday night shenanigans.
Oh, yeah, of course. My very busy Saturday evening schedules, which last weekend was at the Drake.
Okay. But look at this then. Who's the guy? Is it Chucky Slick in Fort Sask?
Well, he lives east of Sherwood Park now.
Okay. Well, he could slide in on Saturday night for the 5:00 start. Could he not? What about the Cebolia guy?
Could he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Will
he? He won't. So my option is the Saturday game at Downtown Community Arena.
And you're going?
Well, I mean, it's 5:00. I could. Here's the thing. Now, what are beer sales at the Downtown Community
That
Arena?
I'm not sure. I've never been. I've only played at the DCA. I've never attended a game there.
For some reason, I'm thinking that there are no.
Oh, what's that all about?
I don't know. Does someone listening right now? Is there a listener that can tell us? Are there beer sales at the Downtown Community Arena for McEwen Griffins hockey?
I need to ask Declan. He went to McEwen briefly, I think. I don't know if he attended many Griffins games at the DCA.
I would say no.
I'd also would think not, but I don't want to speak for him. He's down. He's going to be absent from the start of the LD with LT today because he's down at the Elks presser. Took the intern with him.
Is that right? Well, he's down there. I don't know do I need to go down then? Is he going to be doing the interviews or what's he doing?
Hey, I'll say this.
Declan's putting it on live streaming?
Declan's never been shy about getting in the mix on scrums and stuff, post games and talking to guys at practice. So I have to think he'll be trying to get some audio for his work over at Elks Nation and those of us here at Sports 1440.
Wonder if Eddie Steele will be down there.
Nah, he's too busy. Too busy getting fitted for that new shirt you're going to get him.
Did you see his text that he replied?
I did.
Yeah, come on now. I don't need anything like that. I think it would accentuate.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, because I'm the reason I brought up Laddie as a potential wearer of that shirt as well is like, put it on me. It's hopeless because it's still tight enough that everything that I don't have or do have is still going to show. Whereas on a physical specimen like Laddie or Eddie, it just, as you said, accentuates everything.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie, Laddie is the stuff that he wears in already. It's tight enough as it is.
Eddie, you always make fun of Eddie for his boys Husky t-shirts.
But it's a little different though because Eddie's got the pipes, right? Laddie's got the more form fitting.
Laddie's always talking about his 8-pack.
Is he ever? Hey, it's still 1-1 Slovakia and Finland. 13 minutes left. So basically, as far as overtime goes, this is the same as the NHL, Duke. As far as overtime goes for the preliminary round, I believe. So they'll go 3-on-3 for 5 minutes and then have a shootout.
Exciting.
But it changes. It changes as the tournament moves on.
Right.
So like in the quarterfinals and the semifinals, it goes to a 10-minute 3-on-3 and then a shootout. And then in the gold medal game, there's no shootout at all.
Yeah.
It's basically 3-on-3. You would do, I guess, a period, and then you'd have a flood. So you'd go 20 minutes of 3-on-3 until someone scores, and there's no shootout in the gold medal game. Could you imagine going 20 minutes of 3-on-3 and no one scoring? That can't be possible, can it? Well, anything.
I think it absolutely could be possible with the way we've seen teams start to strategize for 3-on-3, where there's a lot of circling back and looping and playing conservatively.
Boy, if they went 20 minutes, there would be.
Oh, you'd be tired, man.
But the amount of circling back, it would happen probably, I don't know, in 20 minutes of that, would it happen 20 times, 30 times?
For sure.
There's your over-under, Duke, right there.
How many circle backs?
How many circle backs in a 20-minute 3-on-3 overtime?
I don't know if we'll ever get that far, but it would be interesting to keep track of if we did.
Mm-hmm. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440. Maybe we'll regroup to Duke's question, the last one of in or out. And Bertrand Leon Reynolds, best role. A lot coming in for the longest yard too, Duke. We'll get to those when we come back. 833-401-1440, the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Mr. Rooter gets a colonoscopy.
All right, Mr. Rooter, just relax. We're almost finished.
Now, what am I looking at on the screen?
That's your large intestine.
Wow, the pipes of the human body. Incredible. This is just like when we use a camera for sewer inspection, except you probably don't find tree roots.
You'd be surprised what we find.
You know, once I found a bunch of Hot Wheels.
Hey, me too.
For a plumber who values healthy pipes, call Mr. Rooter.
Exciting news from St. Albert Dodge. The all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages have arrived. They have a great selection and a bunch of colors to choose from. And if you've checked out the Sport, you know it comes in some fun colors. Rugged capability, practical off-road features, and you can get behind the wheel for as low as $49,900. That's right. Put yourself in a brand new Jeep Gladiator Sport for less than $50,000. What more can you ask for? Time to head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Mr. Rooter gets a colonoscopy.
All right, Mr. Rooter, just relax. We're almost finished.
Now, what am I looking at on the screen?
That's your large intestine.
Wow, the pipes of the human body. Incredible. This is just like when we use a camera for sewer inspection, except you probably don't find tree roots.
You'd be surprised what we find.
You know, once I found a bunch of Hot Wheels.
Hey, me too.
For a plumber who values healthy pipes, call Mr. Rooter.
Whoa, I gotta put some money on the game tonight. We hit our monthly budget. Whoa, how did you get in here? I'm you, the responsible you. We're right. We'll play another time. Sounds more like us.
If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
Invest for today and tomorrow. Vision Credit Union makes it simple with 2 RRSP options to fit your goals. Choose a secure term deposit RRSP with guaranteed returns or a mutual fund RRSP offering higher growth potential with exciting opportunities. With an RRSP, you'll save on your income tax, grow your investments tax-free, and get closer to your dreams, whether it's retirement or your first home. The deadline to qualify for 2025 tax deductions is March 2nd. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 1046 in Edmonton. Ooh, looky. Slovakia has scored against Finland, and it's the youngster, Dalibor Dvorsky. He's just 20 years old, you know. He played in 4 World Junior Championships for Slovakia. He has a total of 10 World Junior goals. This guy's he's a 10th round, first round 10th overall draft pick of the St. Louis Blues in 2023. He's played 47 games for the Blues this year, 9 goals, 6 assists, He's got probably the biggest goal of his life right now. And the Slovaks are going to the power play as well. Big upset right off the hop here, Duke. The possibilities, big upset. Text 833-401-1440. Buddy Baker. Well, Bud, we've been just saying the score of the Slovak-Finland game. Buddy says, hey, boys, are you planning on telling the score of the Canada game tomorrow morning? I want to PVR it, and we'll take the day off from sports radio if the score will get ruined. Well, Bud, I have to tell you that you're going to have to take the day off from us, and we're sorry about that. But that's just the way it goes in live radio, live television. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the game, Canada and the Czechs, as it progressed. Because it's just the way it is. And unfortunately, that's how it goes. And people will tell you, if you're very rarely can you ever escape a score of a game for a couple of hours. If you, as you say, you want to PVR it and you want to watch it, I don't know, in the afternoon at night, well, good luck, because it's going to be tough for you. You're going to have to be totally, radio silent, internet silent, phone silent, because somehow someone's going to spill the beans on you. Anyway, hey, let's slide things over to our basketball man, Josh Fenwick. Suspensions announced from the big brawl that you watched on, was it Monday night, I guess?
Yeah, that would have been Monday night. It's Wednesday, right?
Yeah, Detroit.
Yeah. Detroit
Charlotte?
and Charlotte, Malice in the wherever the hell the Hornets play.
The nest.
Yeah, something like that. I don't actually know what the name of their arena is, but 4 suspensions dished out. Shouldn't be any surprises there. Isaiah Stewart, repeat offender. He gets 7 games for the Pistons, and then for the Hornets, Miles Bridges and Moussa Diabate, they both get 4 games, and then back to the Pistons, Jalen Duren, he gets just the 2.
Wow,
big loss for the Hornets there, really, and Moussa Diabate. He's one of their most important players, I would say.
Unbelievable. Juraj Slavkovsky has scored now on the power play for the Slovaks, his second goal of the game. 9 minutes, 30 seconds left. Slovakia with a 3-1 lead on Finland. Yikes. There you go. And again, Finland is in the pool with Slovakia, obviously, Sweden and Italy. Everybody makes the playoffs here. If you win your pool, you get a bye. And then the next best team with the record, and I'm sure somehow it's going to go in for goals against, goals for, differential, etc. at that point for that 4th team. But, Sweden's going to be good, obviously. And now the Finns are a game back of Slovakia when it comes to, if this result holds true, when it comes to the pool B standings. Group C features Denmark, Germany, Latvia, and the United States. I can't wait for the Germany-United States game, Duke. That will be the best one, right? Leon Draisaitl up against the U.S. Latvia, Denmark, obviously nothing much there. And in Canada's group, France, not much there. But the toughest group is probably Finland, Sweden, and Slovakia. Italy's not going to have much, but I would say that's probably the toughest group when it comes to the 3. Who would you say the second toughest group is, Duke? Would you say it's
I think coming in a lot, and maybe it was just by underrating the Slovaks, who are surprising us very early on here, but I thought a lot of people had pegged Canada's group as the toughest when you talk about the Czechs and the Swiss.
No, I right off the hop, I said this was the toughest group: Finland, Sweden, and Slovakia.
The Finns and Swedes being the same group certainly propels it that direction.
As you said, Duke, out of the 4 teams that were pegged to be the best 4 teams, there was going to be one group where there were 2 of those teams. Yeah. And this is that group. So that's kind of where I looked at it with that.
But yeah, Denmark, Germany, Latvia, and the United States, that's obviously not like the Germans. I said it. I think they have big upset potential, but between the Danes and the Latvians, pesky, sure. And we've seen them. I mean, we saw Latvia give Canada all sorts of headaches back in 2014. Kristus Gudlevski's standing on his head back then. And I was surprised Speck, the proud Latvian, didn't bring up Kaspers Dogovins as a captain that could rival the likes of Sidney Crosby for the best in the tournament. But I guess he's not that proud of his Latvian roots. So, I think that the Canada's group and this Finland, Sweden, Slovak triumvirate certainly are your clear-cut top two. Top two.
You think Slovaks can hang on here, Duke? It's 3-1.
3-1 with what? We're just over
minutes.
halfway through the period. So
I thought it was 9.5 when they scored. I don't know.
Hey, what did we say? In or out? It's going to take the goalie here to keep things moving along in the right direction. And I like their chances. That power play goal by Slavkovsky could prove very, very, very important.
What do you think about Dvorsky?
It's funny you meant because the fact you play in 4 World Juniors, the same was for this case for was it Yuri Kulich, the Czech, right, with the Sabres? He played in I think 3 or 4 World Juniors as well, and you just become synonymous with them, and you do endear yourself to, of course, your own national fans, but also get a little more notoriety worldwide when you're just on a prominent stage like that. And he was great at the juniors, cutting his teeth now in the Blues organization, but yeah, good on him. Very good on him. The youth coming through for the Slovaks here in Slavkovsky and Dvorsky.
Yeah, we were talking about that baseball news, and it's great to have spring training back and pitchers and catchers reporting. Also, Francisco Lindor is going to have left hamate surgery today, according to Jorge Castillo, reposted by Jeff Passan. So that's now Lindor and Corbin Carroll. Those are two, so those are guys that would have played in the World Baseball Classic. And both those guys are out now. So Dalibor Dvorsky, the second goal scorer, and then 2 goals here for Slavkovsky. Woo. 7 minutes, 42 seconds left in the game. Text came in from Husks, because Buddy Baker was talking about, are we going to say the scores and et cetera. Husk says, I thought I was in the clear at my daughter's dance, maybe last year or the year before. And then in between performances, the lady told the crowd the Oilers score. Oh, Duke, have you ever got to that stage where there's a possibility that you might?
No, I like in the era that I've grown up where I cared, I guess, or had the opportunity for spoilers. I mean, like, it's just a reality. I'm on my phone a ton. Twitter, like I'm not, especially now in this job the past couple of years.
Well, yeah.
You tell me I'm just like not going to go on Twitter over the course of an entire night. If I'm listen, it's different if I'm actually at an event or something. I don't need to be on my phone, but yeah, I don't know.
True story, Duke. That one Critters game, the Oilers were playing that night.
Yeah,
I got through the entire game, and then when we went for the lunch after, there was it was on, and it was on the ticker.
See, and so that's what I mean. Like you can to try and deprive yourself and make every effort, and then it just takes one unforeseen instance of like that texter saying announcing it at like the intermission of a dance recital, and you didn't even seek it out, but you find it coming around the corner on a TV screen. So to me, it's like, what's the point? If you know the result, does that take away from going back and watching it? I suppose a little bit, but if you're not diving into it, you don't know when goals are getting scored or who's scoring them.
Exactly.
If you just know how it ends, I don't think that's the end of the world.
Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Roship T-Bird,
Connor Halley and the Duke of Delburne, 12 till 2, the lowdown with Alan Mitchell, 2 till 6. Jason Greger drives us home with the Jason Greger Show. We got Fox Sports all night long till we are back with you tomorrow morning at 7. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand. High quality promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. That's Fusion with a Z. Hey, thanks everybody for listening. Really appreciate all your input on the text line and the great interaction. Could not do it without you. We're back with you tomorrow morning at 7 bells with our co-host, Vladislav Schmid. It's going to be wild watching the Canada Czech game with him. We'll get to Vladdy probably around the second period, so it's going to be cool. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 7. Until then, here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Canadians in action this morning at the Olympics from Italy. The women's moguls finals Maya Schwinghammer finishing 6th overall, while Lorianne Desmarais Gilbert, Ashley Kohler, and Jessica Linton all qualified for the final, did not advance to the second run. In the men's Super G Alpine Skiing, James Crawford, Cameron Alexander, and Brody Seeger finishing 16th, 17th, and 22nd, respectively. Women's snowboard halfpipe saw Elizabeth Hoskin qualify for the final, while Felicity Germania and Brooke DeHont did not. Currently, men's and women's double luge events carrying on, and a Canadian tandem in each field. Men's 1,000-meter speed skating final will feature Anders Johnson, David Leroux, and Laurent Dubril. Top of the hour, Brad Jacobs and his men's rink will kick off their curling schedule against Germany, and the mixed ice dance free dance program goes at 11:30 with 3 Canadian pairs competing for a medal. Outside of the Canadian field, men's hockey underway. Finland taking on Slovakia. Slovaks currently leading 3-1 in the third period. Coming up at 1 o'clock, just after Sweden will play Italy. On the hardwood tonight, full slate of 14 games, including the Raptors at home against the first-place Pistons. Detroit will be without Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Dern, who were suspended 7 and 2 games, respectively, for their role in the brawl with Charlotte earlier this week. Hornets players Miles Bridges and Moussa Diabate were each suspended 4 games. Elsewhere, Magic host the Bucks, Knicks are in Philly, Boston takes on Chicago, and the Thunder play the Suns from Phoenix. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports